Welcome, everyone, to Roswell, New Mexico. Time for Hobbs Eagle basketball. Live on the radio here at Cool 95.7, on the internet, HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and the Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Your Hobbs Eagles in the semifinals of the district tournament as they take on the Roswell High Coyotes. Of course, these two teams have played before, Ron. They are 1-1 against each other. Hobbs coming in with a 12-15 record, and the Roswell Coyotes at 15-11. Max Prep's poll, Eagles at number 16 as of today. That number is very important because 16 teams make the state tournament. Roswell actually dropped over the last couple of days down to number 20. Of course, they did not have the game to get the season going here in the district tournament because they didn't have to play in the first round Tuesday like Hobbs did with the win over Carlsbad. So they had to kind of wait for this game, and of course the winner of this one will play Clovis on Saturday, the regular season champs. But looking back on Tuesday night, of course, the Eagles with that big win at home in the first round of the district tournament, and boy was it a big one. 20-plus lead through much of the second half, coasted to that victory to move on to here tonight.
Exactly, and we wanted to see that from Hobbs the whole time against Carlsbad. The first game, it did not happen. 40-39 was the score, and Hobbs losing by 1. Could have gone another way if things had worked out just right, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Second game, they redeemed themselves, were able to win at home. And then the third game was a definite staple for the Hobbs Eagles. Were able to go in, was able to get the lead early on, be able to hold it. They struggled in the second quarter. Yes, they did, but they still managed to come back in the middle of the second quarter, get their momentum continuing. Third and fourth quarter were all Hobbs, and Carlsbad did tie them almost in the fourth quarter, but were not able to overcome that deficit that they had early on. And Hobbs just looked great offensively, defensively, just everything they did was pretty much looking good, and we're hoping to see the same kind of result tonight as far as them being able to get an early lead against this Roswell team. They struggled against Clovis, and especially in the fourth quarter on that Monday night game with the district tiebreaker, and we're hoping to see the same kind of Roswell team tonight.
Yeah, and fourth quarter had been kind of a juggernaut for the Eagles against their district opponents. In fact, heading into Tuesday's game versus Carlsbad, they had lost 23 points to their opponents, down 94-71 in the fourth quarter in the previous games this season in district. But in that game on Tuesday night, the Eagles got 28 points. Now, they did give up 27 to Carlsbad, but still, 28 points is what you definitely want to see. They started off the game up 19-6, a nice little cushion there. Only scored 11 in that second quarter, got 20 in the third, and then the 28 to finish it off. But definitely, Hobbs had a lot of guys stepping up. Of course, your top two scorers you're used to. Abraham Pena with 21 points, 5 of 6 on the line. Braylon Vega started off really big time in the first quarter with 3 trays, giving Hobbs a nice little cushion to get it going. Like I mentioned, outscored him by 13 in that first quarter, but he had 9 of his 18 points, half of his point production just in the first quarter alone. It had another tray later in the game, so finished with 4. Great times from the outside for Braylon Vega. So Pena and Vega combining for 39 of the Hobbs Eagle points, exactly half of their total point production in that one.
Right.
Parker Henderson doing a lot better job on some inside jumpers, baseline stuff, getting close, kind of getting off the floor, putting that hand through the hoop, a follow through. He had 12 points and 7 rebounds, and perfect on the line, 2 for 2. I thought he played more under control and felt more comfortable out there, getting his body off the floor, not just saying I'm tall enough not to have to move, get up and actually extend that arm through the basket. So we're seeing some good things from him in that ball game. Hobbs Eagles did go 14 of 23 from the free throw line, 60%, which is lower than their season average at 64. But you got to take what you can get. Got 14 points, so they definitely need it. But 21-point win in that game, and had 7 3-pointers compared to just 3 for Carlsbad. Another great thing about the game, the Eagles kept their turnovers down to 8. Definitely important, and Carlsbad had 11 in that contest. They shot 70% from the field. Eagles out-rebounded Carlsbad 32-27, so a bunch of different categories Hobbs was on top of.
Right.
They keep their turnovers down. We saw that the last regular season game against Carlsbad, single digits against Carlsbad again on Tuesday night. You got wins, and the wins got better. It went up to 21 in that game on Tuesday. So we saw that here in Roswell. Open up the district schedule. All those turnovers that we had, what was it, 29 in that game?
It was 29.
And came back and cleaned it up a little bit in game 2. Still in the 20 range, but still better production. And you also get a win in that second game by 5 over Roswell. But all those numbers and stats, I guess, don't really matter. This win tonight gets them to the district championship.
Exactly. Ignore the fact that Hobbs has been 0-3 on the road in district. What you want to do is this. You want to make sure you clean up those turnovers like you just talked about. 29 is what we have been talking about this since the first district game which happened right here in Roswell, and that was one of the main reasons why Hobbs lost as big as they did, plus the fouls. They kept fouling the Roswell Coyotes, and that was unfortunate because Roswell was not able to convert all those points, but still we're getting more opportunities at the free throw line than Hobbs ever was, and that also contributed to that 12-point loss up here. So they're hoping to be able to control their game, be able to clean it up a little bit. No more turnovers. They've been doing so well so far. In fact, the last game they did against Carlsbad, like you mentioned, that was actually their top performance of the district season, and almost top for the season, just down by 2 points by one other game that they had earlier in the season. So Hobbs looking good, clicking on all cylinders. They need to continue doing so, and we need to just see a good performance offensively, defensively, and just keep it clean.
Now the leaders in the 2 games prior to this one between Hobbs and Roswell, leading scorer average-wise, Abraham Pena, 15.5 points a game, 16 in game 1, 15 in game 2. He's converted 3 trays in those 2 matchups. Perfect on the line. Has had a lot of shots on the free throw line, but 4 for 4 for 100%. Definitely have to have another double-digit game for him, just like he has done all the season. Braylon Vega, he's averaging 7.5 points a game. Usually the second leading scorer on the team. Is not the second leading in terms of averages, though, in the 2 games against Roswell, but still 5 in game 1, 10 in game 2, and has 3 trays so far. Has yet to shoot a free throw, though, in the series with Roswell. Really doing a good job against his Coyotes was Turbiatas, Jairus. He had 14 points in game 1, 7 points in game 2, so averaging 10.5 a contest. But his rebounds have been there. 13 in both games total, 6.5 a contest. Definitely have to have him crashing tonight and getting some opportunities to put the ball back into the cylinder for the Eagles. A couple other scoring, Parker Henderson, 4 points in game 1, 6 points in game 2. Nothing, earth-shattering there, 5 a game. But rebounds have been pretty decent, 11 and 8 against Roswell. He's averaging close to 10 a game against the Coyotes. So he's definitely somebody that can clean up the glass for the Eagles. We also saw somebody coming off the bench in his first performance in the district, Amron Wheeler, a youngster out on the court for the Eagles. He came in here in Roswell, even though it was a loss for the team. He had 9 points, 6 rebounds, and was 3 for 4 from the charity stripe for 75%. He was posting up underneath, using his wide body to move around a little bit in the side the paint there, and did a pretty decent job. In the 2 games that he's played, he also had 11 in the second game, so 20 points total, 10 average, and 5.5 rebounds a game as well. Definitely nice to see those bench people coming off, helping out, especially an underclassman like him.
Yeah, and I forgot about the first game being the fact that we had two ill and one was injured. Right now we've got David Malachi, who is out for the season, unfortunately, and we're going to have to work around that. But he was a big presence that Hobbs is just going to have to fill, and I think they can do that. They've been doing it, rotating, even if they have to get 2 or 3 guys to take over that one spot for Malachi David. I think they can get that done.
Now some leaders for the Roswell Coyotes. Rylan Saraceno definitely has to have a target on his back. He is averaging 17 points a game against the Eagles, 18 game 1, 16 game 2, 6 of 9 from the free throw line, has had 4 trays total in the 2 contests. Definitely he is a threat out there. They will have to clamp down on him pretty quickly. Other scoring numbers so far, averaging 15 points a game, is the McCaskill kid, Stephen McCaskill, 11 in game 1, 19 in game 2. He's 12 of 16 from the line, goes through the lane, gets the fouls that he needs to score, and is also averaging 8 rebounds. So getting a lot of stat numbers there in Rylan McCaskill. Not a big kid either, just 5'11", 140, but he's using his body well where he needs to. So there are 2 guys that are averaging 32 points a game combined. You still got other guys averaging double digits. The Palomino kid, Jacob Palomino, 11 points game 1, 13 game 2. He's averaging 12 a contest, 8 for 15 on the free throw line, and 4.5 rebounds a game. And another guy that steps up as well is Carrasco. He is averaging 9.5 a game, 9 in the first game, 10 in game 2. He's had a couple of trays, 5 of 8 from the line. So you just got a smattering of people out there that can score for him. Right. Combining or comparing the 2 teams on the stat categories, Roswell has shot 56 free throw attempts, has completed 66% of those. Hobbs has only shot 28, half of the number that Roswell has on the attempts, and have only made 50%, 14 of 28. Free throws have got to clean up too, just like the turnovers we said. Those are the 2 keys, turnovers and free throws. Rebounding, Hobbs devastatingly taking care of business over Roswell, 66-42, 24 more rebounds for the Hobbs Eagles. Definitely got to see that improve in this game as well. Continue to get those balls down. And maybe that has something to say about some missed shots, and we had to go up 2 or 3 3 times, and that has happened here,
Right.
especially that first game in Roswell right here. But still, continue to get the rebounds that we need to get some more opportunities to score. 3-point shots, Hobbs barely leading on that one, 10-9 at this point, so just a one-shot differential there. Turnovers is definitely in the pocket of Roswell. They've only had 24 in 2 games. Hobbs with 52. That's double plus. And,
right.
of course, a lot of that is top-heavy from the first game here in Roswell, but a lot better in Game 2, where they only had a total of 23, but still that's way too many. Definitely got to clean that up as well and hopefully get themselves in better scoring position.
Yeah, if they can continue to not turn it over like they have in the last couple of games against Carlsbad. Carlsbad, of course, wasn't playing nearly as tenacious as what we expect Roswell to do. I think it's going to be a great game, plus the fact that, we have a healthy team right now. We've got a good, strong confidence as far as they've got a bond together, and all they have to do is just, of course, take care of those turnovers and produce them. Don't turn them over yourself, but make sure you get some turnovers from Roswell. Also, protect that perimeter because they're going to try to be shooting those threes as much as, of course, we are.
Earlier this week, on Monday, they had the pre-playoff game for the district tournament. Roswell and Clovis to see who the number 1 seed would be. Also the regular season champs. Clovis won that one in Hobbs at Tasco Arena, 55-44. The 2 Cox brothers for Clovis shooting pretty well out there. They combined for 41, but they got the win with those 2 guys. But Roswell had some people stepping up as well. Stephen McCaskill had 13 points, but pretty much shut down in the second half. 11 of his 13 in the first half, only 1 bucket in the second half of action. And Rylan Saraceno with 10. So McCaskill and Saraceno combining for 23. And of course, we mentioned Saraceno averaged 17 against the Eagles so far this season, and McCaskill at 15. So Clovis did something well against that squad. And I know Roswell had a little bit of problems in the second half, getting a couple of technical fouls that kind of got them all screwed up a little bit. But still, they held on that game until towards the fourth quarter is when Clovis pretty much took it over and put that into a W in the column and the district regular season champs. Roswell very quick, a scrappy defense. They're going to go all over the court, very athletic. Kind of get under your skin at times, which kind of got Hobbs into that turnover mode in Game 1.
Right.
But if Hobbs can keep themselves under composure, take care of the ball at their guard position and get it down low on the post play, that definitely is going to be an improvement in this contest to see. We're going to take a quick break, about 90 seconds. We'll be back right here live on the Hobbs Eagle Network.
Welcome back to the Hobbs Eagle basketball as we're in Coyote country. Yes, we're facing the Fighting Coyotes once again, the 3rd time in this season, and we're about to get underway. This is the district tournament. Of course, the winner will be going to Clovis to be able to play Clovis, and that should be a good game. But this one should be as well. Hobbs gearing up. 12 and 15, 15 and 11 for the Roswell Coyotes is what the scores are, the records are. Got the national anthem coming up right now. Going to come back in 90 seconds right here on Cool 95.7 as well as all the internet channels.
Welcome back live here to Roswell, the semifinals of the district tournament live on the Cool 95.7 radio, Cool 95.7 Facebook page. Also on HobbsAmerica.com and YouTube on the internet. Ty friend Ron Gunner with you. Tiffany Stuber back at the station. Getting the starting lineup announcements here for the Hobbs Eagles. Wearing their black uniforms, white numbers and gold trim. And the home white squad, Roswell, the white uniforms and the black numbers. Starters for your Hobbs Eagles: Braylon Vega, Abraham Pena, Lyric Soria, Jairus Turbiatis, and Parker Henderson. Numbers on these guys this season, of course, for the Hobbs Eagles. The leader, 17.1 a game, Abraham Pena. First in assists at 2.9, and first in steals defensively at 1.4. Braylon Vega, he's averaging 10.7 points a ball game and also 2.2 rebounds a contest. Lyric Soria getting close to a point a ball game. He's the point guard for the squad, the freshman. Jairus Turbiatis averaging 8.1 a game, first in rebounding at 7 a contest, and second in steals defensively at 1.2. Last but not least, the big man, 6'11", Parker Henderson, averaging 5.1 points a game, and his second in rebounding at 6.5. Eagles, in terms of the shooting of the basketball, they are 64%. From the field, they are shooting at 44%, I should say. And they are 64% at the free throw line. Hobbs shooting 31% from three-point range. Top three-point shooter, Braylon Vega. He's the sophomore with 50 total on the season. Abraham Pena has 35, and Clay with 14. The Hobbs Eagles will be facing the starting lineup of Zai Carrasco, Stephen McCaskill, Jacob Palomino, Jalen Cloud, and Rylan Saraceno. We talked about their point production. 3 of those guys averaging in double figures against the Hobbs Eagles. Hobbs, of course, got the win the last time they played, 55-44, an 11-point win in that one. So definitely we're happy after losing won by 5 in game 2, lost by about 12 in game 1. So that's the difference between the 2 games so far. But it doesn't even really matter at this point. Whoever steps out of the court, takes care of business, is going to play Clovis on Saturday night.
Exactly, and that's the bottom line right there. You know, also, Hobbs is really wanting to do this. They want to give 2 more victories to Coach Reeves, because that would give him 100 for his career. And this is his swan song, basically, his last season, as he is going to retire at the end of the year. So they definitely want to make sure that he goes out on the right foot. Plus, it would be nice on their own to be able to get this victory. But, yeah, you get 2 more victories. You get 100 for Coach Reeves, and I'm sure everybody will be very, very happy.
Eagles check in at number 16 in the Max Preps poll. Roswell at number 20. Eagles with a 16.3 strength of schedule, which is better than 11 of the 15 teams that are ahead of them in the poll. 16 make it to the state tournament. So very important that the Hobbs Eagles continue to get as many victories as they can here at the district tournament. Sorry about the radio feed there. It went off for just a second. Hopefully we'll get you back as we go along here. The Eagles get ready to jump. Parker Henderson, as he'll go up against Stephen McCaskill. Of course, the Eagles with only 1 senior on their roster. The 2 jumpers almost clash into each other in the chest. A tip for Henderson to the front court. Get it in to Pena. Up top to Turbiatis. Looking for some help. Puts it back to Pena at the timeline. As he dribbles to the right side in front of the Roswell bench, unloads at Turbiatis right wing, poking up to Henderson. Turnaround jumper for the right block, and scores on 2 defenders. He was towering over him by about 6 inches. The Eagles really been going to him in the last 2 games on those low posts, Ron. Yeah, in fact, they started first and third, and look at that, Jairus Turbiatis lays it up again. Takes a steal in the lane, and it's 4-0 early. Exactly what you want to see for the Eagles defense. Couple of passes break the press as McCaskill bring it across. Sends it down the left baseline to Carrasco. Goes up double clutch. Gets rejected by Turbiatis, but it's tipped out of bounds. Roswell will get the ball on the left side of their hoop on the baseline, trailing 4-0. Roswell with already 1 turnover in the game. Carrasco will send it back deep, top of the circle to McCaskill. Comes around right with a handoff to Saraceno, knocked off his knee. Good D by Vega, picked up by Saraceno. Flicks it over to left to Cloud. He'll dribble to the middle of the court. Stop and go to the left side. Bounce pass one-hander to Saraceno. Screen up top. He'll fire up an NBA 3. Out the back of the rim, no good. Vega's going to let it roll out of bounds on the left baseline. I was going to give him a rebound there, but the last second he just put his hands up and let it roll out. He knew it was going to be Hobbs basketball regardless. Exactly. You know, you don't want to take that chance. I mean, he probably could have got it, but there's a possibility that it would have been out of bounds, and, of course, then it would have been back to Roswell. High inbound to Henderson in the back court. Throws it back to Soria, and across the timeline to Turbiatis on the left wing. Back deep to Pena at the time stripe to set up the offense. You have Henderson and Turbiatas in the high post. Over to Soria left wing. Henderson same side left. Outside the circle. Hand off to Pena. Comes to the free throw line. Backs it out. And now near the time stripe. Gets some tough pressure on top of him by Palomino. Now a double team on the left wing off the dribble. Kick up top to Turbiatas. Comes down the lane. Over to Vega, right corner for three. And swishes it. Hobbs up quickly. 7-0. 3 scores already on the board for the Eagles. Up 7-zip. A steal at half court by Turbiatas. He gets knocked to the floor. I think they're going to call this on Roswell after the steal. No, they're calling it on Turbiatas. They called number 44. Yeah, they thought they had the steal in the basketball. Instead, they said the push first. Coach Ross not too happy about that. But some very tough pressure being applied by the Eagles on the trap. First foul on Jay Iris, first on the Eagles. Coming across the timeline after the inbound is Carrasco on the left with a handoff to Cloud. Up top of the circle, dribbles through his legs, taking on Vega to the right block, hippity hop, jump stop. Pivoting to the right, slices it down the lane with a shot on the way to his teammate and gets rejected, does Palomino on the right block. Henderson tried to step over to help that time. We'll see if they call that on him. That'll be the second team foul against the Eagles. Actually, that's going against Lyric Soria, his second team foul.
Nevertheless, it's a 7-0 run so far for Hobbs. They were looking strong. We will hope they would do that. And so far they have not disappointed and just looking great so far.
So first attempt here for the Coyotes in the game for the free throws. Palomino to try to get on the scoreboard and clinks it off the front and back of the rim and in. So he gets his first one to drop. He'll get one more. Palomino in the series with the Eagles, 8 of 15 from the line. Roswell came in against Hobbs, shooting 66%. That's 16% better than the Eagles and shooting double the amount of attempts. Second shot off the front of the rim, no good. Pulled down by Jairis Turbiatas for his first rebound. Throws it back deep to Pena on the near side, right. He's going to go against McCaskill. Double team in the backcourt, gets through with the pass up top to Soria, actually on the right wing in front of the Roswell bench. He slings it back to the timeline to Turbiatas, handoff behind to Pena. On the Roswell R in the middle of the court. 5:40 left first quarter, Eagles up 7-1. To Soria right wing, back up top to Turbiatas. Slid a little bit with the basketball, got away with the travel. Finds Pena in the right corner. Fadeaway jumper from 15 off the side of the rim, no good. Roswell rebound. On the dribble, McCaskill gets across midcourt. He gets bided up by the Eagles for the foul. As they're going to call that against Hobbs, number 4. That, of course, number 4.
Yeah,
Maybe it must have been 14. The scores table is calling the official back over. There is no number 4 out there.
Right.
Vegas 14 and Turbiatas 44, Soria 42. There's a bunch of 4s, but got to put another number in front or behind that one.
Exactly, because there's definitely not a 4. Maybe on Roswell's side, but not on Hobbs' side.
Oh, they're going to go 22. So 4 was the guy that got fouled. That was Stephen McCaskill. They called the foul on 22. Abraham Pena, his third team foul. So a 3-0 foul count in favor of Roswell. Inbound to Carrasco in the front court, throws it up the near left sideline and goes out the hands of Vega right in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench and just couldn't get his fingertips curled enough around the basketball almost for the steal there.
Yeah, if he could have, that would have been a whole different ballgame, but still, yeah, he did try.
Hobbs up 7-1, 5:20 left first quarter. Inbound up top to McCaskill to the free throw line. Stop and go, jump in the lane, kick it left corner to Carrasco for 3 off the side of the iron, no good. Turbiatas with his second rebound. Dribbles up towards the half-court line and gives it off to Soria. He'll bring it across the timeline, the freshman, the point guard. Setting up with a thumb for the play call. Crossover right, stays near the timeline, though. One-hand bounce pass in the paint to nobody. He was trying to get to Pena, but 2 defenders there instead. The Eagles' first turnover. Coming across the time stripe. McCaskill down the lane. High arching shot rejected by Turbiatas and the rebound. Does it up court to Pena. Lefty. And he does a little finger roll at the last second to put it through for 2. Pena now with his first bucket. Hobbs has already had 4 scores and up 9-1. Going down the lane at the other end is Cloud. Sends it to the left baseline to Palomino. Guarded by Henderson. Up top to Saraceno. Drives the right elbow. Shot on the run and swish. Good body control in the air for Saraceno. Of course, he's averaged 17 against the Eagles in games 1 and 2. Steal on the inbound in the lane in the backcourt. Laid it in by Saraceno. He's got 4 now. Second Eagle turnover. High inbound to Turbiatas on the near right side of the backcourt. Eagles by 4. Back deep to Pena. Returns to Turbiatas. Near the time stripe. Cross court left to Henderson. Sends it down to Soria. Right corner for 3 and puts it through the threads. Count it. Freshman lighting it up there with a big time tray. That's his first bucket. Eagles now with 5 scores. They're up 12-5. Pass across the timeline to Palomino. Actually, that's Cloud behind his back in the lane. Sends it down to the right corner. Faking a three is Saraceno. Slides left, fires it up anyway. Off the side of the rim, no good. Rebound left wing by Cloud. Drives to the left elbow. Bounce pass, back door. Going up high on the iron. On the right side layup was Palomino, but he got fouled going up. A couple of guys moving to the area that time for the Eagles, and that will be against Turbiatis. That's his second personal already, and the 4th foul. So right now a 4-0 foul count. Eagles are in some foul trouble at this point.
They are. That's the only thing that's going wrong for the Hobbs Eagles so far is the foul count. Other than that, Hobbs is playing strong. They're doing it just right. They're having a couple of lapses, but overall they're coming back strong and being able to learn from those mistakes.
Palomino 1 for 2 on the line. Now make it 2 of 3 as he makes the free throw. Now 12-6. Coach Reeves and Coach Ross go to the bench, bring in Beatty and Wheeler. Getting their first action in this first quarter as Soria and Turbiatis takes a seat. Of course, Turbiatis with those 2 fouls already. One more shot for Palomino. 4 for Saraceno, 2 points for Palomino. No, make it 3 as he gets 3 free throws total so far. 12-7, Hobbs by 5. On the left baseline, Vega in the backcourt. Runs up the line, tries a shot, put it in, but throws it out of bounds to the far left sideline, and that will be a turnover, number 3 for the Eagles. It will come back to the baseline because it didn't touch anybody on the court. So it'll put Roswell on the right base to inbound underneath their hoop, down by 5. Quickly get it into McCaskill in the right corner. Tries to send it down the lane, stolen by Wheeler, who just came off the bench. Second Roswell turnover, goes back door to Vega, way up on the right side off the rim, front, no good. In transition with the rebound is Palomino for Roswell. Sends it down deep right corner, front court to Saraceno. Hippity hop reverse, rejected by Parker Henderson. Gets it to Payne at the timeline near side. To Vega right corner. Vega will take a lefty dribble up top, tries to send it over to Wheeler left wing, but it's stolen in midstream by Palomino for the turnover. He goes back door to McCaskill with a jump shot for the left block. It scores. That was Hobbs' 4th turnover of the ball game, 12-9 Eagles. Long pass to Wheeler. He takes it to the rack on the left side with a scoop and gets hammered hard going up. Coming down on top of him was Carrasco. Wheeler clapping his hands after that, just led the defender into him before he scooped it up on the left side. And that got Coach Dude Barola off the bench and onto the court now. I'm not sure what he's arguing about here. Foul going to be against Roswell. That's not going to change. Carrasco picks up his first, just the first team foul against the Coyotes. Wheeler on the line. First shot off the front of the rim, no good, but he will get one more. He is 4 of 6 from the line against Roswell in the 2 prior games for 66%.
Yeah, we were talking about 100 wins that Coach Reeves could do it. Barello has already done that just the other day against Clovis. He got his 100th win after so many seasons.
Wheeler shooting 60% this season. Second free throws bouncing around and good as he gets 1 of 2 on the charity stripe. First point of the game for Wheeler. And there's a timeout on the court. 3 minutes remaining in the first. Hobbs 13, Roswell 9. Come back with us on the semifinals of the district tournament live on the Hobbs Eagle Network in 30 seconds. Your Hobbs Eagles lead 13-9 with 3 minutes left here in the first quarter. The semifinals of the district tourney. Winner plays Clovis on Saturday, and then this weekend they'll announce the 16 teams in the 5A bracket for state. Roswell ball in the backcourt, get it into the far right sideline to Cloud. Double team with a couple of guys for the Eagles, Clay and Beatty. Get it across the timeline down the lane to Palomino. Tries a reverse layup right, and coming from behind to swat the ball was Josiah Clay right of the lane, but they call him over the back on that one, so that foul on Clay will be his first. 15th foul on the Eagles. Double bonus for Roswell the last part of this first quarter, the 2:51 remaining. And that once again puts Palomino on the line. He is 3 of 4 so far. Definitely would like to stop seeing him getting those free shots. He was 8 of 15 up until this game, and he's adding on to the points now, but throws a clunker off the front of the rim on that one.
So a jinx on that one. Maybe the second one will be the same way. But, yeah, definitely want to see Palomino up more if he's going to do more of that.
So now he is 3 of 5 for 60%. He's got all the free throw attempts so far for Roswell. Remember, they had 56 free throw attempts into this game, 28 for the Eagles. Second shot off the back of the iron. Ball gets batted around and pulled down on the near right sideline by Hernandez, who just checked in. Javen Hernandez sends it down the lane. Reverse slam for Pena going underneath the hoop from right to left is fouled as he tries to push it back over the left rim. That'll put him on the line for a couple of free throws. Came off the iron. Carrasco has picked up his second personal and the second Roswell team foul as well.
Yeah, and Pena's been a big part of the scoring for Hobbs. He has definitely held up to his reputation, and he's still got plenty to go.
Pena 4 of 4 against Roswell on the line for 100%, but he misses off the front of the rim as soon as I said that. Pena on the season at 70%, but he'll drop a little bit after that first miss.
That's definitely unfortunate. They need those makes, not the misses, but still can make it up with this second shot.
Eagles are 1 of 3 from the line now. Wheeler 1 of 2, and now Pena 0 for 1, but he'll get one more here to try to extend it to a 5-point lead.
Yeah, they have, Hobbs has missed 9 shots on both times, in both Carlsbad games, so hoping that won't happen again.
Second free throw good for Pena as he gets through with the point and his third of the game. 14-9 to the front court, falling on the floor, but getting a push pass is Martinez, picked up on the right wing by Cloud. Guarded by the Eagles, and driving the lane against Clay, and then helping out was Beatty. Beatty tried to swat the shot as Clay got kind of caught from behind coming down the right side of the lane. They call the bucket good and the foul. Looks like they'll charge that one to Beatty.
Right.
That'll be his first personal, 6th team foul now. Of course, 5 is a double bonus, and a chance for a 3-point play for Cloud. Cloud comes into this contest against the Eagles averaging 7.5 a game, 5 of 7 from the charity stripe. And he's got a free throw shot here, which is in and out, no good. Underneath the hoop is Wheeler to pull it down for the Eagles, the underclassman. For him, that will be his first rebound of the ball game. Into the front court, down to the left baseline to Hernandez, gets double teamed, over to Beatty in the left corner. One hands it down the lane, nobody open, and it's Roswell that just picks it off for the Eagles' 5th turnover. Throwing it ahead up the near sideline to Palomino, and then a body foul riding him all the way for the Eagles as they will get some more free throws out on the court for Roswell. That foul going to be charged to Pena, his second, 7th foul. Right now it is 7-2 in foul count, and it's going to be more free throws. And guess who at the line again, Ron? Jacob Palomino.
That may be a good sign.
3 of 6, though, for just 50%. First shot is up and good. He's yet to score a basket in this game, all 4 points on free throws. Coach Ross and Coach Reeves have to go to their bench to take out Pena, who now has 2. They'll put in Vega back in there. And Roswell gets a sub on the court as well, as checking in will be number 1, Kyle Mesquita. He's a sophomore.
Yeah, so far Roswell living on the charity line right now because they've got 2 more minutes left in this first quarter, and they've got plenty of time to get more on that line.
They were 4 of 8 as a team, now 5 of 9 as Palomino makes both of those free throws. He's got 5 points. 14-13, Hobbs just by 1. A high inbound to the half-court line to Wheeler. Touch pass over to the top to Beatty on the near side. Back deep to Clay. Hobbs getting a little bit out of sync on offense. Gets some tough pressure. Clay drives to the right elbow. Up top to Beatty. Slides down the lane. A shot on the run for the middle of the paint. In and out. No good. The lid came open and popped out the ball. Chasing it down to the far sideline is Palomino for Roswell on the rebound. Dumps it to the right corner to McCaskill. Goes to the rack with a double clutch. Misses off the side of the rim. Another rebound for Wheeler for the Eagles. His second. The freshman really stepping up big on the boards. Bounce pass to the half-court line to Hernandez. He drives the lane with a double clutch. They call the foul. Looks like it's on the drive before he got a chance to shoot.
It was definitely on the drive. Looks like it may have been Palomino.
No, it's Jalen Cloud that pushes in the back on that one. His first, 3rd team foul. Clock stop with 1:34 remaining in the first. Hobbs up by 1. Make that Clay to inbound in front of the Roswell bench on the near right sideline. Sub for Roswell is Josh Estrada, one of the seniors, getting his first action. Into Beatty in the right corner, double team, dumps it into Wheeler in the right block against a triple team. Spins right, goes to the rack off the glass. The ball gets tipped off, no good, and pulled down for Roswell on the near left sideline by Estrada. Goes into the time stripe to McCaskill with 1:20. Stop and go against Clay, top of the arc. Waits for a teammate to come back for it, Manny Fuentes. He comes around the left circle against Clay in front of the Hobbs bench. Hand off to Mesquita. To the top of the arc, gets a screen from McCaskill off the dribble, and returns to the left wing to Fuentes. Zings it up top to McCaskill, drives the lane, hippity hop, turns and fires in front of the rim, count it on the jumper, and the foul. McCaskill now with 2 buckets here in the first quarter, and a chance for a 3-point play. We're going to see who they get the foul call on that time. That'll be charged to Amron Wheeler, his first 18th foul. And that will put back on the line the Roswell Coyotes. McCaskill's first opportunity to shoot. 9 free throw attempts so far, 5 of them converted by Palomino.
Yeah.
And now McCaskill getting his first chance.
Hobbs looked strong in the first half of this quarter, but the second half has been nothing but Roswell. Hobbs struggling to get anything going on offense, like you said, with the rhythm, but hopefully the second quarter will bring back some luck and some rhythm.
And a miss off the front of the rim for McCaskill, but a rebound on the right block by Mosqueda. Gives it back to McCaskill. Fade away from the right block off the side of the iron, no good. And Clay rips it down for the Eagles for his first rebound. Sends it up the far left sideline, but overthrows Beatty, who juggled it, and then stolen, and then he reaches out and fouls. Manny Fuentes, the guy who picked it off. That'll be the Eagles' 6th turnover. And again, that's not a stat we want to see right now. The foul will be on Fuentes, or make that Beatty. That's his second. And the 19th foul. That'll be another double bonus. So Hobbs right now has 3 players in foul trouble in the first. Pena with 2, Turbiantes 2, and Beatty with 2. And more free throw opportunities for Roswell. A lot more people now getting a chance to shoot. First attempt for Fuentes up and good. He's got his first point of the ball game. 11 free throws attempted and 6 made so far for Roswell.
Another substitution for Hobbs. Soria is in for Beatty.
Eagles down by 2, missing off the second one. Fuentes off the rim. Chased down the left baseline by Hernandez. That's his second board. Dangerous throw to Soria in the left corner, cross court. Looks like we got a body foul on Roswell. That won't be bonus yet. That'll be the 14th foul as Kyle Mosqueda picks up his first. 14 fouls I mentioned. Hobbs still going to have to go the distance with it as Soria will inbound from the left baseline and have to go the distance left to right on the radio dial. Everybody being matched up defensively with Roswell's D. Soria will get it in to Wheeler left wing, throws it up the same sideline. And there goes Vega trying to go down the lane with it, gets stripped from behind. They're going to say it came off his fingertips. He's yelling at the official, hey, it was knocked out of my hands. But Coach Ross says just get back in the press and let's not worry about it. But that's a turnover for the Eagles. Actually, just a shot block, not a turnover. Inbound to Mosqueda, throws it across the timeline to Saraceno. Drives the lane, reverse layup right and scores. Eagles definitely unraveling late here in the second. 6 points for Saraceno. Eagles had their biggest deficit of 4, 18-14. Clay gets double teamed in the left corner backcourt as a tough pressure being applied by Mosqueda and Josh Martinez. Jump ball, and that'll be an arrow for Roswell. That means another Eagle turnover at number 7. So fouls at 9 and 7 turnovers. That is not a formula for a victory if they don't get that improved by the second quarter.
Exactly, but they've got plenty to go, and yeah, they definitely have to improve in the second quarter, and luckily they're going to have a 0-0 foul count to deal with, so they won't have to worry about double bonus.
18-14 Roswell, 22 left in the first. Deep right corner inbound back to the timeline to Saraceno, guarded by Clay, beats him to the right elbow, down the lane. Windmill layup on the left, misses off the side of the iron. Battle for the boards underneath. Chased down in the right corner by Mosqueda, his first. Make it his second. Gives it, hands off to Fuentes, comes down the lane, double clutch, the ball rolls around the rim and goes through. Fuentes with 3 points, down to 1 second. Clay is not going to get the shot off. He does not realize there's 1 second left, and he just dribbles through the timeline. The buzzer sounds. So not a good finish for the Hobbs Eagles in that first quarter. They were up early after some great play for several different Hobbs Eagles getting into it. Vega and Soria both hitting trays. A couple of buckets by Pena, Turbiantes, and Henderson, but now trail by 6 at the end of 1. We'll take a 60-second break, come back with more Hobbs Eagle District Tournament basketball live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Starting the second quarter here in Roswell, the district tournament live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Your Eagles trail 20-14. Roswell has a couple of guys scoring big. Saraceno 6, Palomino 5, 4 for McCaskill. And Hobbs led by the threes of Braylon Vega, Pena, and Soria. 2 apiece for Turbiatis and Henderson, and 1 point for Wheeler. Already a foul on the start of the second quarter as Kyle Mosqueda reaches in for the Coyotes. His first team foul. Eagle basketball back to Beatty on the left wing for a 3, in and out, no good. Underneath the hoop for the rebound is Ryan Saraceno. Eagles out-rebounded Roswell 8-7 in the first quarter. A steal on the inbound. Braylon Vega goes double clutch off the left glass and scores. Vega now with 5 points. That was the 3rd turnover for Roswell, though Hobbs had 7 in the first quarter. Roswell basketball on the right wing front court. Stop and go for Saraceno. Eagles down by 4 with 7:28 left second quarter. Up top to Fuentes. NBA 3 left wide open for the tray and makes the Eagles pay for it as he puts it right through the cylinder. Fuentes now with his 6th point of the ball game. That was the first tray for Roswell. 23-16. The long pass the other end to Henderson. Goes up big with 2 hands. He thought about dunking it. He gets hammered from behind, and boy, that got Coach Barola off the bench screaming at the official. That will put Henderson on the line, but Roswell bench jumped up excited that they thought the big boy got blocked clean. But they will call the foul on Mosqueda. Back-to-back fouls, and more importantly for Coach Barolo and Coyotes, that's his 3rd personal.
Exactly, and it goes both ways, the fouls doing. First half quarter, that was all about Hobbs and getting some foul trouble. Second quarter could be all about Roswell being in the foul trouble.
Henderson 2 of 5 against Roswell this season, 40%, makes the first one there. He also came into the game for the season on the charity stripe at 59%, but right now 100% on the made free throw. Henderson now with 3 points. Eagles have had 6 scorers coming into this second quarter so far. Roswell has 5.
Got a surprising update for you from Portales, where Lovington is leading the Lady Wildcats 15-8 over Portales.
Second free throw good for Henderson. He's got 4. It's 23-18. Pass to half court, brought across by Saraceno. Drives the lane, a runner shot. Does it high off the glass, misses out the back of the rim. Vega comes down with it with the washing machine elbows being thrown around. His first rebound. Does it across the top to Pena on the right wing. Stop and go to the baseline. And we've got a carry call by the half-court official. Called it on somebody on the baseline that time on Pena. And the travel, or make it the carry by the Eagles. Their 8th turnover. Checking in for Roswell, Stephen McCaskill. As exiting will be Josh Martinez. Eagles are going to play some matchup defense there. Looks like a 1-2, 1-2-1-1. As the inbound comes towards the timeline, picked up by Estrada. Stolen by Beatty, Roswell's 4th turnover. Up top to Vega. He'll drive the lane with a scoop on the right, gets knocked to the floor, no call. Rebound for Roswell on the left block, that's Fuentes. Fuentes in the front court, to the left block now, in the lane. Scoop pass to the left wing, gets it to Estrada. He drives baseline, tries to lean to the basket and shoot outside the paint. They're going to call the foul on the floor, though, before the shot went off. And they'll get that one against the Eagles, against Vega. That's his first. First team foul against Hobbs. They had 9 fouls in the first quarter alone, almost double. Or actually almost a double-double there for the foul situation. Substitution for the Coyotes, Jacob Palomino checking in for Estrada. Roswell basketball on the left side of the rim, underneath their hoop, up by 5 with 6:38 left second quarter. Inbounding is McCaskill into the left corner. Palomino gets it, bounces it to the left elbow to McCaskill. Over to right wing to Saraceno, takes a few dribbles, gets ripped, and Vega has it by the head as he fell backwards into Vega that time. That was Saraceno. Referee ran in there to make sure there was no extracurricular stuff going on after that, but back-to-back fouls for Vega. Now, Ron, not a good situation. 4 players with 2 fouls apiece for the Eagles.
Exactly, but the thing is this, Roswell creates those fouls. They don't happen to happenstance. They make sure that they happen. Hobbs needs to do the same thing.
Inbound is a steal by Vega on the far left sideline for turn number 5 for Roswell. He tries to dribble up court and he gets bodied to the floor. They call the foul on Roswell. That will be Saraceno's first and the 3rd team foul. So both teams get a little bit physical here as they move through the second quarter.
Exactly, and if that's how it's got to be, it's got to be that way. But Hobbs has got to match that physicality if they want to be able to compete against that. Otherwise, they're going to have another one of those situations where they're in double bonus.
And no secret, this is a physical Roswell team. Coach Reese has talked about that all week. When they played them, they better be ready for that. In the front court, Pena uses up the dribble on the right wing in front of the Roswell bench. He's looking for help as tried to dribble again, lost the ball. They called a double dribble on him in front of the Roswell bench, right in his ear that time. That is the 9th Hobbs Eagle turnover as the Eagles got to play some defense once again down by 5. Coming across the timeline is Cloud. Sails it down to the right corner to Fuentes. Jab step a couple of times against Turbiates. His pass is deflected, but he gets it back on the right wing. Flicks it back to the time stripe to Saraceno against Beatty. Dribbles right side, 3 on the way. Fade away off the back of the rim. Takes a long bounce to the sideline. Turbiates tries to save it, but lost it as he went up in the air and tried to chuck it back in, but fell. And it will be Roswell basketball on that far right sideline. Facing their hoop, up by 5 with 5:54 remaining, second quarter. Now a sub coming in for Roswell. That's Frankie Anaya as he checks in for Saraceno.
Must be a hometown favorite, but yeah, Turbiates was lucky enough not to be injured in that one. He was doing some very nice acrobatic moves, but still could not get the ball inbounds.
Yeah, that 50 kid has a little bit of a football physique in there. Definitely going to be a wide body underneath for Roswell. Inbound deep to the timeline to Cloud. He's guarded by the Eagles closely as stepping up Danny Ray Quiswell, the JV player. Pass over the left wing and a 3 already put up by the sub. Frankie Anaya, that football kid, he sails it through the hole. 3-pointer for him, the second tray for Roswell. Wouldn't have expected that. 26-18. Hobbs has their biggest deficit right now of 8. Pass down to Turbiates on the left baseline. Got it knocked out of his hands. It's going to be Hobbs basketball still. And now the referees are going to meet for just a second. Not sure what the situation is. They're all coming together. Maybe they're going to give it to Roswell. Maybe it was deflected and set off Turbiates as he tried to get the ball. Oh, they got a technical foul against Roswell.
Number 50.
Yeah, the guy that hit the 3 might have been taunting after that shot that he drilled on the left wing. So that'll be a T on Avala, or Naya, excuse me. That's his first. 14 fouls. So Hobbs getting close to that double bonus. Right now it's 2 tech shots here for Vega. Vega right now has not shot a free throw. The Eagles are 4 of 6 from the charity stripe, and this one in and out for Vega. Vega's got 5 points. He's the leader in scoring so far. 3 apiece for Pena and Soria, both getting one getting a tray. Soria, Pena also 1 for 2 on the line. 26-18, Eagles down by 8, their biggest deficit, trying to whittle it down to 7 with the second make here for Vega. His shot is up, and it's a swish. Vega went 1 of 2. He's got 6 points to lead the Eagles. 5:30 left, second quarter. Hobbs down by 7. They had as big as a 5-point lead in the first quarter, but Roswell came storming back.
Exactly, they did. And Hobbs just needs to keep it cool, calm down a little bit, and just play the ball they know how to play.
Inbound deep backcourt. Criswell going to bring it across. Got his first action in the game against Carlsbad on Tuesday. Back to Beatty at the timeline, picks up a double team, sails it down to Henderson left corner, tries to touch it down the lane. It's tipped away, stolen by Manny Fuentes. That's the 10th turnover. He'll bring it up the court, dribbling behind his back to the free throw line. Against Beatty. Beatty strips it from behind, gets a steal in the paint. Roswell 6th turnover. Then he's almost getting stolen back himself, but he had a double team against him and finds Turbiates at the time stripe. Over to Criswell on the right wing. Up top to Turbiates. Spots up a tray off the front of the rim, no good. Hard roll to the right baseline, out of bounds. Roswell will get it back. As Coach Barola is starting to be a very liberal on the subbing. He had taken out that Anaya kid who hit the 3 and then got a tech. He's back in now. Also his teammate Saraceno, who comes in with 6 points. And the Eagles will stick with Turbiates, Henderson. Pena checks back in for Criswell. Vega on the court, and one last player, that is Beatty. Across the time stripe, Cloud comes around the right circle. Little bouncer to Saraceno, up top after a screen, comes down the left lane, jump stop, shot on the way, and scores out the left rim. Henderson tried to swat at it, but could not get it to get on top of the basketball. Palomino now with 7. Okay, so that was Saraceno. Shot at the other end by Turbiates, pulled down by Henderson, thought about a dunk, and decided to go up with 2-hand touch over the rim and scores. Henderson now with 6 and 1 rebound. It's 28-21. Hobbs down by 7. In the front court, Palomino over the right wing. 3 on the way for Cloud, high off the back iron. Rebound by Pena in transition. Dribbles in the front court, got it knocked out of his hands from behind, going right around the circle. Good D to knock it out for Roswell by Jalen Cloud. And checking back in for Roswell, lots of 7 going on. Josh Martinez for Frankie Anaya. So Hobbs trying to get this down from 7. 28-21 with 4:07 remaining. Vega on the right baseline. Slapping the basketball. Vega slid it up top to Pena. Over the left side to Turbiates. Down to Beatty, left baseline. Kicks it back up top to Pena. Fakes a 3. Kicks it back to Vega in the right corner. He's going to fire up a tray. In and out, no good. Rebound by Turbiates on the right block between 2 defenders and sends it off the glass for 2. Turbiatis 4 points and 4 rebounds. 5-point Roswell lead with 3:47 remaining in the first half. At the other end, at the top of the arc is McCaskill, sliding left with a dribble against Henderson. To the free throw line, spin left, to the left block, turns and fires the sidewinder, hook no good. Turbiatis tips it and gets it away from him. He'll go to the other end with the reverse layup, right side scoop, and scores. Back-to-back for Turbiatis, he's got 6 points. We're down to a 3-point margin now, 28-25 Roswell. Into the front court is Cloud on the left wing. Stop and go dribble, backs into Beatty on the left block. They're gonna call the foul on Beatty. Boy, just barely a bump. Not much displacement there, but they're going to say any touch is enough here as Beatty will get the foul. That's his third team foul against the Eagles.
Coach Ross is in disbelievement. He just could not believe that was called on that one as he was watching the whole time, and he just grabbed his head and went, what is going on here?
Anaya returns on the court for Roswell. It looks like Hobbs wants to get a sub as well. Soria checks in for Beatty. Was trying to come out here. He says, Coach, I've got 3 fouls, and Ross waited just a second and said, yep, that's right. Come out and take a breather here.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes when you don't have it on the scoreboard exactly who's got what.
3 Roswell players stacked on the left side of the lane. Bounced into Palomino on the left wing, keeps it same side to Cloud. Guarded by Soria, gets a screen behind him by McCaskill. Shot fade away from the free throw line by Cloud, coming off no good. Put back up with 2 hands by Palomino, but he gets sandwiched in between Henderson and Soria. Palomino picks up his 3rd rebound and the foul. He'll get a chance for 2 free throws. That'll be the 14th foul against the Eagles and the 2nd against Soria. So a chance for Palomino to continue where he left off. He had a ton of free throw opportunities in the first quarter. He was 5 of 8 from the line. His first chance here in the second quarter. As a team, they're 6 of 12, Roswell, for 50%. Eagles have shot 8 free throws. First one off the front of the rim, no good for Palomino on the brick. And a check-in for Roswell. Sub is Josh Martinez for Anaya. Seems like Anaya comes in for about a minute, then he's back out pretty quickly after that.
Pretty much. Got a halftime update for you from Portales. It is the Lexington Wildcats, the Lady Wildcats, up 28-19 over Portales so far.
Little upset magic going on there. Second free throw good for Palomino. He's got 6. 29-25, Eagles down by 4. Inbound to Henderson near right sideline. Across to Payne in the front court. 1-on-2, goes to the rack, goes backdoor to Vega. Tries to go up strong with it. It's knocked off the back of the rim. And it looks like it will be going to give it to Roswell. Coach Ross is jumping down the sideline there. Didn't like the call on that one. Eagles could not get a grasp of that rebound that time. It was a shot by Vega, but he just didn't get enough grip on it to throw it up. 2:58 left in the half. Pass deep to Anaya in the left corner. Gives it back up top to McCaskill. Drives the lane. Reverse layup right. No good. Cloud comes down with it. Kicks it out to the right corner. 3 on the way for Saraceno off the back of the rim. Turbiatis tries to track it down for the Eagles on the left baseline as it came off the iron, but comes off his fingertips out of bounds. That gets Coach Reeves off the bench, screaming at his team to get themselves more physical on the court to match up with this Roswell squad. 2:47 left in the half. Eagles down by 4. Inbounding on the left baseline, Palomino. Bounces it into the left block to McCaskill. Fadeaway jumper from 10, no good. Left block rebound for the Eagles in Pena, his second board. Dribbles into the front court through his legs. Backs it out to the timeline right. Unloads the Soria on the right corner. In front of the Roswell bench, gets bumped out of bounds. They're going to say he stepped on the line. They're going to give it back to Roswell. That will be an Eagle turnover. Coach Ross in the ear of the official. 11 Eagle turnovers, 6 for Roswell. Back on the court for the Coyotes now, Manny Fuentes, as he comes in for Saraceno. Boy, Coach Barola really getting fresh legs on the court on almost every dead ball.
Exactly. I've noticed that as well. He is rotating, making sure those legs are fresh.
Inbound to McCaskill as he brings it across the timeline. Stop it, go in the paint. Goes to the rack right side. Rejected by Henderson. Picked up for the Eagles by Vega. His second rebound. Bounce pass backdoor to Soria. The freshman lays it in as he leaned towards the hoop. Counted for him. He's got 5 on the right side. 29-27, a 2-point ball game. Eagles -2 with 2:10 remaining in the half. Into the front court, McCaskill, top of the arc. He's going to spot up a 3. Swish it. Henderson backed up just a bit. Gave him enough room to fire that through. Make that McCaskill has his first 3-pointer of the game. That's number 3 for the Coyotes, 7 for McCaskill total. 5-point Roswell lead. Payne gets a screen from Henderson. Pass to Vega, left wing. NBA 3 off the front of the rim, no good. Pulled down to the right block by McCaskill, his second board. He'll jump into the front court, up mid-side. Top of the arc front, over to the left side to Palomino. Dribbles in the paint, spins against Henderson, doesn't shoot. Instead sends it up top. Jab step coming from Fuentes. Down the lane with the dribble to the left block. Sends it down left corner to McCaskill. Gets stripped. Ball loose in the lane, and Henderson pulls it away. Coyotes, 7th turnover. Henderson outlet to Vega on the far left side. He'll bring it across the timeline. Fakes a pass left, reverse layup right on the glass, and scores. Vega puts it through. He's got 5 in this quarter, second, 8 overall. A 3-point Roswell lead, 32-29 with 1:10 left in the second. Pass deep to Anaya, left corner, 3 on the way off the back of the rim. Battle for the boards going to the Eagles. Pena was going hard against Fuentes on that right block to get that rebound, and the Eagles will have it with 1:07 left in the second. Another sub for Roswell, checking in Josh Martinez.
All the problems that Hobbs have had the last 2 quarters, and they're only down by 3 with 1:07 left in this first half. That is something to say good for the Hobbs Eagles.
Inbounding is Soria from the right baseline. He'll chuck it to half court. Overhead of Turbiantes, able to bring it down. They're going to say he came up over the top of the ball, pancake style on the carry. Roswell bench called that one first, but Turbiantes will get the turnover, unfortunately, the 12th of the game, and that is not a good stat. Eagles are doubling up turnovers versus Roswell 6.
Yeah, they've had quite a few turnovers just on their own mistakes. They need to clear that up on the second half if they want any chance of getting into this game and winning.
Still a 3-point lead for Roswell, 32-29 with 1:05 remaining in the second. Big question will be, how can the Eagles deal with the foul trouble in the second half? Inbound to the backcourt to Cloud. He's going to take on Clay at the timeline, who just checked in. Josiah Clay. They bump hips together. Cloud comes to the far right sideline. Stop and go. Clay sticking right with him. Cloud will come down the lane, hippity hop, tries to throw up a shot. Henderson comes over to help, blocks it right on top of the basketball. We're going to say they called a body foul on him or Clay in the middle of the paint that time. As we'll get the call here from the official at the table. Which guy's going to get it? Looks like that's going to be against the Henderson. He looked like he got mostly leather on that one, but maybe a little hip action. His first personal 15 foul, which means Roswell in the double bonus, the final 49 seconds of this second quarter. And that will put on the line Jalen Cloud, who is 0 for 1 from the charity stripe.
They both were 4 had 1 more to go before they got in the bonus. Of course, Roswell gets to it before Hobbs does.
14 free throw attempts for Roswell so far as a make there by Cloud. He's 1 of 2 now for 3 points. 8 completed or 8 put in the bucket there for free throws. 8 out of 15 now for Roswell, as they now lead by 3, 32-29. Second shot for Cloud is good. He's got 4 points, and it's 33-29 Roswell up by 4. 49 seconds left in the half. Inbound to Payne on the near right side in front of the Hobbs bench, backcourt. Back deep to Clay. Gets double teamed. One hands over to Henderson far left. Doesn't cross the midcourt. Finds Turbiantes, top of the arc. Pena back door. Tries to go hard to the rack. Gets hard hit up in the air. Tried to sail over the top of his defender that time. And Martinez is swinging the arm as hard as he could go to try to block the shot. He'll pick up the foul. That's the first on Martinez. 15 foul. So now another double bonus for the Eagles this time. Pena will step up to the stripe. He is 1 of 2.
But with only 30.5 seconds remaining in this quarter, they're not going to have much of a chance to take advantage of it, so they better do it now.
5 of 8 from the line are the Eagles, but a miss off the front of the rim. Very short shot there for Pena. He is now 1 of 3 for the charity stripe. We mentioned coming into this game after the 2 contests previously against Roswell, Eagles were shooting just 50% from the line, 14 of 28. And Roswell 37 of 56. They shot 28 more free throws in those prior 2 games and 66%, 16% better. Second free throw off the front of the rim again. Rebound underneath the hoop, and Turbiantes gets flattened on his chest to the floor. That was a missed free throw by Pena, but Turbiantes getting big, his 5th rebound, and he gets pummeled from behind. So he'll get a chance for more free throws on the double bonus, as they'll charge that one to McCaskill, his first. 16 foul on the Coyotes.
Yeah, Turbiantes has been a little iffy on the line here lately, but he has been good. When he hits his first one, he definitely sinks his second.
Turbiantes 59% this season as he makes his first there. He's got 7 points now for the Eagles' cause. In the series with Roswell, Turbiantes shooting 1 of 4 for 25%, but make it 2 of 5 now as he made that first one. Down to a 4-point lead for Roswell. One more free throw coming for Jay Iris. Shot is up, and it's a swish. He's got 6 of his 8 points here in the second. 34 seconds left in the half, a 3-point Roswell lead. Another reach foul for the Eagles. Fouls going both ways. Will be shooting opportunities. Reach on the far right sideline by Clay, his second, 16 fouls. We've had 12 fouls here in the second quarter combined.
Yeah, it has not been nearly as clean as we hoped it would be on both sides, but yeah, definitely Hobbs needing or wanting to be on the free throw line, getting some extra points, just not making it happen so far, and when they do, they don't take advantage of it.
So far, Roswell has a total of 10 fouls in this first half. The Eagles at 15. Couple of shots here for McCaskill, who is 0 for 1 for the charity stripe and makes the first free throw. His number is now at 8 total. He is the leading scorer, actually tied up with Rylan Saraceno, who's also got 8, all coming in the first, 6 of those 8 coming in the first quarter for Saraceno. Hobbs leader right now in terms of points. 8 for Vega, 8 for Turbiatis. Second shot is up and good for McCaskill. He's got 9 now. And it's 36-31. Roswell by 5. 30 seconds left in the second. Pena gets a double team, throws a high one down the right sideline in the front court to Turbiatis. He's double teamed, tries to split through him, is knocked forward, flat on the floor again. As he got a big double team from McCaskill and Palomino near the scores table in the near right. They call that one on Palomino. His first 17th foul. They only have one in real foul trouble at this point. Kyle Mosquito, who's been on the bench for a while. Carrasco with 2, and then a bunch of guys with 1 apiece. As Turbiatis will step up, made his last 2 free throws here in the second, just about a minute or so ago. He's got 8 points. First shot is up, a high one, and in and out, no good. He will get 1 more. So far, the Eagles have had 5 different players getting a chance to shoot free throws. Coyotes going to go to their bench now to bring in Frankie Anaya as he comes in, the big kid that hit a tray right off the bench in the first quarter. Turbiatis trying to get this down to a 4-point game with his second free throw attempt. Looks like they're trying to get the referee set here. They got a sub trying to get in. That's Javen Hernandez, but it looks like he's coming in for Turbiatis, the shooter. Second shot for Turbiatis off the front of the rim, no good. Missed both of them. Just waiting for it on the right block was McCaskill for his 3rd rebound. Dribbles hard in the front court with 18 seconds. Top of the arc, down the right side of the lane. Double clutch off the glass right side and scores. McCaskill has 7 in the second, 11 overall. 7-point lead for Roswell with 7 seconds left in the second. Fagan left wing over the right wing to Clay. Crossover move to the middle of the court, or middle of the lane. Tries a reverse layup left off the rim, and that is the end of the second quarter as a rebound pulled down by Fuentes in transition. At halftime, Roswell leading by 7 over the Hobbs Eagles, 38-31. We'll come back in 3 minutes with your semifinal halftime show here in Roswell. Stay with us live on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7 Facebook page on the internet and on the radio at Cool 95.7. Welcome back live to Roswell. Your Hobbs Eagles trailing at the half here in this semifinal, the district tournament, 38-31 to the Roswell Coyotes. Ty Friend, Ron Gunner, and back at the station, Tiffany Stuber with you tonight. Eagles start out pretty tough there, Ron. Some trades being dropped in for the Eagles. Vega, Soria, Payton had a couple of points going in early. Turbiatis looking pretty good early on. A couple other guys too. Parker Henderson stepping up. But then about midway through the first quarter, it kind of shifted towards Roswell. And then the Coyotes were up by 6 at the end of the first quarter, 20-14. Now again, we said 38-31 here at the half. That's an 18-17 difference in the second quarter. But midway through the first is where they took advantage.
Exactly, and Roswell seemed to be able to get those shots to drop. They didn't even have any scores until a couple of free throws, and then after that, once they got their field goals in, it seemed like they were back to back to back, and all of a sudden it was half. It was 12-6. Hobbs still lead by 6, but they were not scoring nearly as much as they were in the first of it. And yeah, Roswell took advantage of all the steals, were able to get more points in, and before you knew it, Roswell was in the lead, and we were looking like, how is this happening? What is happening with Hobbs that has caused this?
I think a lot of trapping on that full court defense for Roswell has been one issue. Hobbs been getting having some problems deep in those corners where you don't want to go as a team trying to break a press. You want to get out of the corners, stay off the sidelines as much as possible, and that's exactly where they're being drawn to, of those corners. They get those guys converging on them, and then it's a bunch of arms and octopus-style defense going on that's hard to throw down the court for. Hobbs been kind of lofting some balls high in the air to half court, making people like Turbiatis jump way over the top just to come down with the basketball, and it's caused a couple of turnovers after that too. Once you come down with it, you start the dribble, and then it's a defender right on you, so you end up, carrying it, double dribble. We had that a couple of times across midcourt. Those issues are a problem. Right now, 12-7 is the turnover situation. Again, Hobbs on the bad side of that stat. I mean, that's not something we haven't talked about before.
Right.
Hate to beat a dead horse. 29, or was it 29 turnovers in that first game here against Roswell a few weeks back. And they got a better situation, 23 in the second game at home, but still, over the 20 mark, we're moving towards that right now with 12.
Exactly. I mean, we've already got more than we did in Carlsbad. In fact, we're almost going to double it up from the 2 games put together. We're going to have probably more turnovers. Roswell just creating, like I said in the beginning, Roswell can do that. They can trap. They can go ahead and do that. They do it in the backcourt, be able to get you to make those lofty throws that you're not supposed to do normally, but you got to get it out of your hands, otherwise something's going to happen that's going to be negative on your effect. So either way, whether you keep the ball or you throw the ball, you're kind of already in bad trouble already. So you got to get a little help from the teammates, come back, be able to get more passes that are a little more crisper, a little faster. They did that against Carlsbad too. I love the fact that they got those passes crisp and clean on the perimeter and the inside. Right now, though, they need to work on that, be able to get back into that game.
It's not much different than football. I mean, your quarterback's getting a bunch of guys rushing you, and all of a sudden your receivers are 30 yards downfield. They've got to float back, just like you said. I mean, It's the same concept with the football. Talking about the scoring in the first half, first of all, for Roswell, they have one guy in double digits. Stephen McCaskill has 11 points. He did hit a tray in the second, 2 of 3 from the line, and 3 rebounds. A little bit of a drop-off after that. Rylan Saraceno with 8 points, 6 of those in the first quarter. Been kind of quiet in quarter 2, and 1 rebound. It was Manny Fuentes coming off the bench for 6 points, hit a tray, and was 1 of 2 from the line with 2 rebounds. Jacob Palomino was 6 points. He had a ton of free throws, especially in that first quarter. I mean, he was getting all the opportunities there. He was a total of 5 of 8 in the first quarter and ended up being 6 of 10 overall for 60%. So too many opportunities for Palomino. A lot of those coming off crashing to the boards and kind of double clutch and look in the paint. So definitely got to watch him in the second half. Jalen Cloud had 4 points in the first half, 2 of 3 from the line and 2 rebounds. So Roswell, actually one other guy, Frank Anaya, coming off the bench for a tray. Roswell was 6 scorers in the first half. They had a total of 12 rebounds, which was 3 less than the Eagles. Their leaders were McCaskill and Palomino, both with 3 apiece. We mentioned the turnovers just 7 compared to 12 for Hobbs. Roswell did hit 3 trays in the game and pretty evened out in that, with Anaya hitting 1, McCaskill and Fuentes getting 1 apiece as well. For your Hobbs Eagles already in double figures, Braylon Vega, he had 10 points, and majority of that coming in the second quarter where he had 7. He hit a tray in the first where there's only points there, 1 of 2 from the line and 2 rebounds. It was Jairus Turbiatis working on a double-double already with 8 points, 6 of those coming in the second quarter, where he was 2 for 4 from the line and has had 5 rebounds as well. Parker Henderson was 6 points, 2 for 2 on the line, and 1 rebound. Abraham Pena having kind of a quiet first half, 3 points, 1 of 4 from the charity stripe, and 2 rebounds. Lyric Soria, the freshman guard, with 5 points, a tray and a bucket. And last but not least, Aaron Wheeler coming off the bench. He is 1 of 2 from the line for 1 point and 2 rebounds. Eagles have had 6, or make it 7 scores in the, no, I had it right the first time, 6 scores in the first half. Eagles were 7 of 14 for 50% against Roswell, which is exactly their percentage they had combined in their first 2 games against the Coyotes. So kind of keeping on the same keel there. In terms of turnovers, we mentioned that, 12-7, too many for the Eagles at this point. But again, they've out-rebounded Roswell 15-12. The leader is Jairus Turbiatis with 5, 2 apiece for Vega, Pena, and Wheeler. Eagles with the 2 trays in the game, 1 for Vega and the other for Lyric Soria. So that's pretty much the numbers in this first half of action. We're getting ready for the third quarter coming up, the semifinals of the district tournament. 38-31 Roswell over the Eagles, back in half a minute.
All right, welcome back to Roswell, New Mexico, as Hobbs is into the third quarter now. It is a 38-31 game where Hobbs is trailing by 7, but they have plenty of chances to come back. And for the call, here's our friend Ty Friend.
Hobbs Eagles going right to left on the radio dial here in the second half. Roswell basketball, though, at the half-court line. You're watching it on YouTube, HobbsAmerica.com. Hobbs in the black travel uniforms, white numbers and gold trim, and Roswell in the whites with the black numbers. Both teams getting a little foul trouble. Some guys getting some there in that second quarter, so they have to watch that for the Eagles especially. They got a Beatty with 3, 2 apiece for Vega, Pena, Soria, and Turbiatis. A 3 on the way for Roswell to get it started third quarter, and McCaskill nails the tray. His second of the ball game and the 4th for the Coyotes. They lead by 10, their biggest lead now in the contest. Long pass the other end. Turbiatis goes to the rack left side, kind of a shimmy and a shake going up with it, and gets a body foul, a hip thrown at him. They're going to call that against the guy that just hit the tray at the other end. McCaskill, his second, first team foul against the Eagles. And that'll put Turbiatis on the charity stripe. Eagles were at 50% at the half, 7 of 14. Turbiatis 2 of 4. He was 50% and had 8 points and 5 rebounds. And pretty critical game for the Eagles. They would want themselves into that district tournament championship to secure a spot in the 16 field that's going to be announced this weekend.
Exactly. They want to improve their record as best as they can. 1 under 500 would be a whole lot better than 3 under 500 at this rate.
Free throw good for Turbiatis. He's got 9 points, getting ready for double digits here to match up with Vegas 10. Second shot is off the front of the rim, no good. Pulled down by Beatty near the timeline. That'll be his first rebound. Sends it back to Vega, top of the arc, and nails the tray. Defense backed off of him. Vega with 13, his second tray, and the total of 3 for the Eagles total. Up the near sideline, a pass and a bouncer to Saraceno. Shot for the right elbow off the back of the rim. Beatty with the rebound at the free throw line. He's getting tough. Second board. Outlet to Vega near left side. He'll slow it down before coming across the time stripe. Coach Ross sets up the play. Hand off to Beatty on the near side. Dribbles up top. Gives to Payne, who gets slammed into. Ball loose in the timeline, taken by Palomino. Turner number 13. Palomino stripped back at the baseline on the right by Pena. So turnovers given back both ways. Over to Vega, left wing, 3 is short. Turbiatis tries to jump for it on the baseline. It was a air ball underneath the hoop and could not get a grip on it. It will be Roswell basketball. So turnovers coming back to back on that last 2 series there, Ron.
Exactly. Just mistimed that jump, Turbiatis did, and knew he had a chance to get that ball.
Stephen McCaskill weaving through traffic, throws over to Cloud right wing, hippity hop down the lane, goes to the rack on the right side around Henderson and scores off the glass. He was trying to help out Beatty, so Cloud will get the bucket, his 6th point. And the foul against the Eagles, that will be their first here in the third quarter. They'll charge that to Henderson, his 2nd. He was on the help side that time. And that'll put on the line Cloud from the charity stripe tonight is 2 of 3. And has 6 points. He finally gets the basketball on the check here. Coach Barola talking to a couple of his players at the timeline on the defensive side there. As Cloud will get the free throw. He's got 7. They're now 12 of 19 for the charity stripe are the Coyotes. 9-point lead, 44-35 Roswell. Bad pass coming across the timeline, ripped away from Turbiatis, stolen by Saraceno. He tries to come down the right side between Beatty and Henderson, the same 2 guys that were caught last time on the foul. And this is going to go right back to Henderson again. His 3rd, 2 in a row now for Henderson. 2nd team foul. Eagles not learning their lesson. Those helium passes towards half court are getting deflected quite a bit.
Exactly, but I'm not sure exactly what Henderson can do other than what he was doing. It looked like he was perfectly clean on that one. However, the referee saw it a different way.
2 free throws for Saraceno, yet to shoot one in the game, and swishes the first one. He's got 9 points. Against the Eagles earlier in the 2 games this season in the district schedule, he was 6 of 9 from the charity stripe and had the top average against Hobbs at 17 points a game, 18 game 1, 16 game 2, where he had 3 3-pointers. So he definitely had a lot of point production for Roswell. Second shot's a swish for Saraceno. He's got 10 points. They do have 2 in double figures down for Roswell, along with McCaskill's 14. Inbound to Wheeler on the far side, down by 11. Finds Vega left corner, drives the left block, windmill layup, hits the bottom of the backboard, chased down by Pena on the right base, kicks it over right wing to Wheeler for 3, in and out, no good. Tipped in the air by Vega, it's loose at the free throw line. Turbiatis comes down with it as he dribbles the top of the arc, his 6th rebound, and he gets shoved into as he tried to cut back to the top of the arc again off the dribble. They call the foul against Jacob Palomino. Coach Barola has a big mouth of words for the officials. That's the 2nd against the Coyotes.
And that's fine because Palomino can foul out, and that'd be all right with us.
Inbound to Pena on the left baseline. Wraparound pass to Vega, right corner. Fadeaway 3, hits the bottom of the net, but outside the cylinder for the air ball. It's touched by Roswell. Eagle basketball on that left baseline underneath their hoop, but they're down by 11. Their biggest deficit here in the second half. Inbound to the free throw line. It's Wheeler going to the rack with a scoop shot right. Misses it. Pulled down underneath the hoop by McCaskill's 4th rebound. Outlet middle of the court to Saraceno. Goes back door to Cloud. Goes hard to the rack with a layup. Hits off the side of the rim, but he gets bodied up. Turbiatis takes him to the floor. And every time there's a foul for the Eagles, you see the wide mouths opening up, looking at the official. You just got to get your hands straight, get in the defensive stance, and wait for a charge and not try to back or body into somebody. Unfortunately, Turbiatis has just picked up his 3rd personal, 3rd team foul, as Cloud goes right back to the line.
Yeah, between the 2 teams, Roswell's being more aggressive, and they're winning the arguments as far as fouls. They're getting them more than they are giving them.
Free throw missed off the back of the rim by Cloud, as he is now 3 of 5 for 60%, and he will get 1 more with an 11-point lead to extend it to 12 if he makes his 2nd one. It'll be the biggest lead of the ball game. Cloud does put it through the net. He's got 8. And now Roswell by 12. Inbound to Wheeler on the far side. Another trap stolen in the lane, and there's Cloud with the lefty layup. Eagles are getting burned bad on the trap defense. Full court for Roswell, as Cloud now has another bucket, and that's the Eagles' 14th turnover. Into the front court to Pena on the far right side. And it looks like Coach Ross wants a timeout. He saw his player Pena over there on that far right side getting double teamed pretty recklessly there and did not want him to cough up the basketball. So we got a 5:40 count on the score in terms of the time, but the Eagles down by 14, their biggest deficit here in the second half. We'll take a quick 30-second break, come back with more Hobbs Eagle Hoops on the Hobbs Eagle Network. .540 left here in the third. Your Hobbs Eagles trailing here in the semifinals of the district tournament, 49-35. Eagle basketball after their timeout. Surya gets into Beatty, right corner, front court. Weaving through traffic in the paint. They say a body got thrown at him by the Coyotes. Should be Eagle basketball on that right baseline. They get the foul to Ryland Saraceno, his 2nd, 3rd team foul against Roswell, as Vega will be the inbound man from the right base. Underneath the Eagles hoop. Having some trouble finally getting it into Wheeler. He goes up strong, double clutch at the right block against 2 defenders. He gets through him and scores off the glass as he puts it through for 2. Wheeler now with 3 points. The freshman, 49-37, 12-point Roswell lead. Crossover move for McCaskill down the lane. Scoop on the left glass and scores. McCaskill now with 16 points. 51-37. Down to Turbiantes in the front court now, near left side. Hand off to Soria. Double team. He gets past both of them. Shot from 15 on the left wing and scores it through. Soria, nice follow through on that jumper for the Eagles. Another underclassman for the Eagles as well. He's got 7. 51-39. Coming across the timeline. Up top is Cloud. Tries to get around Soria. They're going to say he got bumped by Soria with the butt that time. As Soria will pick up the foul, his third. 14th foul. One away from the double bonus for the Coyotes. Still leading by 12, 51-39. Bouncer on the inbound to Cloud at the time stripe here on the near right in front of the scorers table. He'll be picked up by Soria. Unloads to the left wing to Carrasco. Over to right corner, faking a 3, driving baseline is McCaskill. Tries to cross quarterback over to Cloud in the left wing, but overthrows him. Out of bounds for Roswell's first turnover of the second half. They've got 9 overall.
Yeah, that pass had a lot of mustard on it, just could not handle it, and did go out of bounds. Good break for Hobbs, but they need more of those.
51-39, Coyotes up by 12. Inbound to Turbiantes, drives the right side of the lane, flicks it out to Vega. Fake to 3 against double team pressure. Takes to the dribble at the free throw line, hippity hop. Up top to Soria, NBA 3 off the back of the rim, and pulled down in the middle of the paint for Roswell by Carrasco. He'll dribble in the middle of the court. No look pass to the deep right corner for Saraceno's 3 and swishes it on the fadeaway. Saraceno has his first tray of the game and 13 points. 5th tray for Roswell, up by 15, their biggest lead. Eagles quickly in the front court. Turbiantes to Beatty on the left wing. Cross court right to Vega. Takes a few dribbles to the baseline and a body foul. As Cloud was riding with him, Cloud's second personal, 4th team foul. And the Eagles got to be kind of getting quick on the scoring here. Double-digit lead for Roswell, who's starting to hit some trays from the outside to give him more of a cushion on the lead.
I think more to the point, they need to really get their defense going stronger than this. They can get their offense going, but the best they can do at this point is just match the score. They need to slow down the Roswell offense.
The inbound comes down low. A fadeaway for Wheeler as he puts it through. So Amron Wheeler now with 5 points and a 13-point Eagle deficit. Into the front court, McCaskill puts on the brakes at the free throw line and puts up a J and scores. Carrasco now with 18 to lead both teams, 56-41. The inbound to Soria, sings it up the far right sideline to Vega. Vega pivots, hands it back to Soria on that sideline. Stop and go through his legs on the right wing. Looking for help, back to Vega, over to the left side to Clay. Clay with a shake and bake, goes baseline, 10-footer fadeaway, air ball. Chased down on the right block for Roswell by Mosqueda, his 3rd rebound. Gets it stolen by Clay, tries to go up with it, knocked out of his hands. It will be making Hobbs basketball on that left baseline after Roswell's 10th turnover. Eagles will get it back underneath their hoop with a 15-point deficit, 3:31 left in the third. Winner plays Clovis on Saturday night for the championship. Inbound to Wheeler, left corner for 3. Clinks off the left rim. Pulled down on the right block by Palomino for his 4th board. Sends it across the timeline to McCaskill. Bounce pass down the left side of the lane to Mosqueda. Fumbled it on the base as he returns it to the left wing to reset to Palomino. Stop and go, crossover, spins in the lane against Wheeler. Left, right, and a shot on the way off the back of the iron, off the glass. Pulled down by Wheeler for the Eagles. That's his 3rd rebound. Gives it off to Clay in the backcourt. Stop and go. Front side now. Left lane. Tries to go backdoor to Turbiantes, but right in the hands of Saraceno for the Eagles' 15th turnover. Sends it ahead to Mosqueda. Backdoor and trying to go up with it high over the rim was Palomino. Lost the ball. It's knocked out by Clay. It'll be Roswell basketball on their baseline underneath the hoop. Clock will stop with 2:55 remaining here in the third. Eagles down by 15. In fact, the Eagles had a 5-point lead in the first quarter, trailed by 6 at the end of 1, and down by 7 at the second quarter break, halftime. And it's extended to 15 here in the third. Eagles have been outscored 18-10 in this third.
Exactly, and that's part of the problem right there. They need to, of course, get the offense back as well as get the defense going and stop this Roswell offensive attack.
In ball to Estrada on the left base or left sideline. He steps as he tries to pivot and steps on the sideline, so that will be a Roswell turnover, number 11. The Eagles have had 15 so far. Inbound to Payne on the back baseline in the backcourt. His pass deflected to Soria right sideline. Keeps it up that side with a long throw down to Wheeler right corner. Posting up Henderson going up strong on the right side glass and puts it through using a 6'11" frame. 8 points for Henderson. Down to a 13-point game for Roswell. In the front court, stop and go for Fuentes to the left block. Double team from Wheeler and Payne. They're called Wheeler on the reach from behind. They try to squeeze play on Fuentes on that left block that time. as Wheeler will pick up the foul, his second, 15 foul, which puts Roswell in the bonus. You definitely don't want to have them going back there. They are 15 of 23 from the line so far.
And Roswell so far has had bonus all 3 quarters. Hobbs needs to get into bonus a little bit faster. That way they can get back into this. Otherwise, Roswell will just keep it on the line and try to drain this thing out.
First free throw good for Fuentes. Now 2 of 3 from the line. He's got 7 points. 2:33 left, third quarter. Roswell up by 14, 57 to 43. Coyotes dropped to the 20th spot in the Max Preps poll after Tuesday, and the Eagles moved up to 16. Missed the free throw off the right side. Henderson comes down with it, his second. Up court to Vega on the left base, comes underneath the hoop with a scoop. It rolls off the front of the rim, tipped around by a couple of different players, and pulled down by Roswell by Carrasco on the right block, his second board. Gets it to the timeline to Fuentes. Fuentes with the stop and go, crossover, going against Pena. To the left elbow, gets a screen. Hippity hop to the left base, pivots, returns left wing to Carrasco. Fadeaway 3, it scores it. Pena tried to get a hand in his face, but Carrasco puts it through for the tray. That is his first points of the game, the 6th for the Roswell Coyotes. Pena gets a triple team, dribbles through the traffic in the front court. One hand to Henderson, goes up strong with 2 hands on the left side, gets pinned and then pummeled down on top of. That gets the bench and Coach Broloff up to yell the call there, the foul, as they'll charge that one to Fuentes, his first 15 foul. They've been arguing every time Henderson goes up with it that he didn't get fouled. It was a clean block, but every time they're jumping up and arguing that call.
Well, they can do it all they want to, but the refs have the final call, and they usually are correct about that one.
Henderson's 2 for 2 on the line. First free throw's a swish. He's got 9 points. Almost a double points production here for Mr. Henderson. It would be his best of the series against Roswell, as Parker had 4 in game 1 and 6 in game 2, but averaged 9.5 rebounds. And he's more points than he is rebounds in this game, though. Second shot for Parker is up, and it's a swish. Henderson makes them both. He's got 10 now. 60 to 45. Eagles been down by as many as 17 in this game, now at 15. Into the front court, stop and go for Carrasco. Sends it down to the right corner for Estrada. His 3 off the side of the iron. Chases his own rebound down on the right baseline. Sends it down to the left block, going up high over the glass, but missing everything is Martinez. Pulled down by Roswell's Josh Estrada on the right block, and we got a foul underneath. Estrada's rebound there, his third, and see what they're going to call the Eagles on this time. They're going to call the body on. Looks like they call that against, look like they said, I guess it's 23 or 32. I don't see either one of those numbers. They say 42 now as they give that one to Soria, his 4th personal. 16 foul on the Eagles, still a double bonus. First free throw short off the front of the rim for Estrada, his first miss of the game. He's trying to get in the scorebooks, he's yet to score. Beatty returns for the Eagles, in for Soria with those fouls. Eagles have 4 for Soria, 3 for Turbiatis and Henderson and Beatty. 1:35 left, third. Hobbs down by 15. Second shot for Estrada is bouncing around the rim and good. He got 1 of 2. 16-point lead now. Inbound comes to Henderson on the near left side. Keeps it up the sideline to Pena. Drives through 3 defenders, but lost it off his foot in the paint. Ripped away by Mosqueda high in the air. So that'll be an Eagle turnover, number 16. Pass down to the left baseline. One-hand shot up for Estrada, no good. Henderson rips it down for the Eagles. I don't even think that came close to the rim that time. That's Henderson's 3rd rebound. Across the timeline to Pena, stop and go as he takes on Mosqueda, fell to the floor, gets back up, tries a crossover move, lost the ball, picked up by Turbiatis, top of the arc. Pena trying to do way too much against double and triple team pressure. Back to Beatty at the timeline, and we got a Hobbs Eagle timeout. We'll keep it right here with 1:05 left, third quarter. Eagles down by 16, 61 to 45 to Roswell.
And we got our fine sponsors we want to talk about. First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Elite Home Healthcare, Lee County State Bank, Lasco Construction, TDS, Thriftway, The Coffee House, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline, The Model, Emerson Media and Design, Hydrotech Services, and Divine Energy Services. Thank you all very much for keeping us on the air.
Well, your Hobbs Eagles have a little bit of trouble getting a clean offensive set in these last couple of minutes here. Getting a clean shot, look at the basket, and It seems like the dribbling, trying to go through 2 or 3 guys, crossover, not having your head up, looking for the wings and who's open, or maybe somebody low post. But that doesn't mean that Roswell has been playing tough D. They're kind of playing the fly on the fly paper stuff, and the Eagles are the fly paper, unfortunately.
Exactly, but they've been double and triple teaming at the right times, it seems like. Hobbs just unable to answer those, and it's just confounding them. I'm hoping to see a few more substitutions come in. We've got plenty of players out there. We got plenty of abilities to be able to get some more points on the board. But first, we need to go ahead and stop Roswell from getting out there and scoring as much as they've been pretty much scoring at will for the most part in this third quarter.
Eagles have had 14 points in this third quarter. Roswell has 23. So definitely a big lead advantage there with a 16-point lead, 1:05 left third. Inbound to the backcourt with a sub that just checked in for the Eagles. That's Danny Ray Criswell, the JV player who suited up in the last game against Carlsbad. Hands off to Beatty, dribbles up top, takes a shot from the left elbow, the free throw line off the back of the rim. Ball tipped around, Henderson comes down with it, goes up strong with his two hands on the right block and scores over the rim. He's got 4 boards now at 12 points. A steal on the inbound, Turbiatis lays it in with 2 hands on the left side. He's got 11. And that will be the 12th turnover for Roswell. They get a pass up to the far left sideline to Crosco. Almost got it stripped, takes his dribble, continues down the court. Hand off to the left corner, a bad pass as Henderson takes it away. Roswell with back-to-back turnovers, they've got 13. Over to Beatty in the front court, left wing, stop and go. Gives it back to Criswell. 3 on the left side is clinking off the rim, left, no good. Rebound up the near sideline for Roswell in the hands of Fuentes, his third. He gets forced out of bounds in front of the Hobbs Eagle bench on the near right, and they call the body foul. That'll be against the Eagles as they'll charge that one. And that'll be the double bonus situation for Roswell as they get that call against Danny Ray Criswell, his first 17th foul. 61-49, Eagles down by 12 with 16.6 left in the third. And that'll put on the line Fuentes. He is 2 for 3 for 66%, has 7 points. Roswell right now with 7 players scoring. The free throw up and good from Fuentes, now with 8 points. Actually 8 scores at this point. He'll get 1 more, trying to extend the lead to 14. Of course, the Eagles have a fourth quarter to try to come back in, and we saw some glimpse of thumbs up there on that full court pressure defense. The second free throw's bouncing around the rim, and no good. Rebound by Turbiatis. That is his 7th board of the ball game. Dribbles to the timeline, gives it off to Criswell. Over to Beatty on the right wing, now near the timeline, coming right to left, fakes the handoff, drives the left elbow, gives to Wheeler on the left block, back to Henderson, fadeaway jumper right before the buzzer, comes off the iron, no good from the right side. Your Hobbs Eagles have a big hole to dig out of as we head to the 4th, trailing Roswell 62-49 in the semifinals of the district tournament. Come back with us in 60 seconds on the Hobbs Eagle Network. The 4th quarter here in Roswell, your Hobbs Eagles trailing 62-49 in the semifinals of the district tournament. Eagle basketball, Criswell with it at the top of the arc. Leading score 13 for Vega, 12 for Henderson, 11 for Turbiatis. Criswell on the left wing, comes up top to the right elbow. Jump stop, throws up a shot as he gets hammered. Coming down on top of him, Stephen McCaskill. Waited for McCaskill to come down over the top before he threw up the shot. Smart move for Criswell. That'll give him a couple of free throws as they'll get that one against McCaskill, his 3rd personal, first team foul here in the 4th quarter. And Criswell has yet to shoot any free throws this season as a varsity player and played most of the time as a JV member. Trying to get in the scorebook here. First shot is up and good for Criswell. Gets in with the point. That's 62-50 now.
Yeah, I was able to watch him in those JV games. He looked like he had a really good form on his free throw. and that right there shows it. So if he can do it again, maybe he can help chip away this lead and or this deficit.
McCaskill leads with 18 for Roswell, 13 for Saraceno, and 10 for Cloud. Second shot good for Criswell. His second point of the ball game. 2 for 2 on the line. 62-51. Roswell keep it up the far left side. Quick passing for Carrasco. Tries to go back door to Cloud in the lane and taken away by Beatty. Roswell having some trouble with turnovers lately. They got 14. To Criswell at the time stripe, over to Wheeler on the left wing. Hands back to Criswell. Lefty dribble, sends it back to Wheeler, but a short pass. It's ripped away as Roswell goes up with a double-hand dunk at the other end. Palomino scores. He's got 8 points. That was the 17th Hobbs Eagle turnover. 13-point lead for the Coyotes, 64-51. Beatty down to Wheeler, right corner. Alley-oop to Henderson, comes down with it. Fadeaway jumper in the middle of the paint, off the front of the rim, no good. And a pull down on the right block for Roswell, and the rebound by Palomino, his 5th. Gets it across the timeline to McCaskill. Down to the right corner, driving baseline Saraceno. Fade shot gets knocked around as Turbiatis got high in the air, lost his balance, and bodied into him. Turbiatis has his 4th personal, unfortunately. That's the first team foul against the Eagles. And that will send Saraceno to the line. He's perfect, 2 for 2 with 13 points. He's the second leading scorer for the Coyotes. So he'll get a chance for 2 here to try to extend the lead to 15. The biggest lead in the second half has been 17. First shot's up and good. Saraceno will get 1 more. Mentioned in the first 2 games, he had a total of 34 points, 18 and 16 for Saraceno. And right now his numbers are 14, so inching up to where he was before. Second shot is good. 15 now for Saraceno. And the Eagles down by 15. Inbound to Turbiatis, far right sideline. Back deep to Beatty. Dribbles through traffic. Returns to Turbiatis in the front court right side. Keeps the dribble alive. Gets double teamed. Cloud getting right in front of him. Knocked a piece of the ball away, but Beatty picks it up top of the arc. Shot from the free throw line off the dribble. Off the back of the rim, no good. Henderson had it for a second. Lost control of the basketball. Gets knocked out of bounds on the far sideline left, and it will be Roswell ball. I don't think he ever did have a grip on it, so no rebound for Henderson, but It will be Roswell ball.
Yeah, he almost had it, but it got poked out, and unfortunately, Turbiatis tried to get it and could not, slid out of bounds.
Looks like Javen Hernandez checks in for Turbiatis with 6:31 remaining here in the 4th. Eagles down by 15. Bounce into the backcourt to Cloud. Hobbs going to play some half-court defense. Cloud will take his time against the defense of Criswell. Stop and go to the top of the arc. Dribbles to the right wing and hands it off to Saraceno. Saraceno fakes a 3, comes down the left side of the lane, reverse layup left off the glass and scores with his lefty. He's got 17 now with the Coyotes. 68-51, a 17-point lead. Pick off of the timeline by McCaskill. Throws it down the lane. Fadeaway shot for Palomino, no good. Loose on the floor. And it might have been Palomino that got it, but he hurt his ankle as he tried to pass it out, and he's still limping around. Missed the shot. Rebound by Criswell going to the other end, but he lost the ball as well, so Roswell takes the pick off. That's going to be the Eagles' 19th turnover. Down to Cloud in the right corner. Kick it off to the right wing. 3 on the way for Saraceno and swishes it. 20 points for Saraceno, his second tray. That's 7 3-pointers converted by Roswell. 71-51. The biggest deficit for Hobbs is 20. Long pass down to Henderson. He goes up big on the right side over 2 defenders and scores. Flicks it over the rim. As that will be another bucket for him. Henderson now with 14 points and a timeout for the Eagles. But 18 down with 5:25 remaining here in the 4th. Hobbs has got a lot of road to hoe. We will take a 30-second break and come back on HobbsAmerica.com, YouTube, and Cool 95.7 Facebook page, on the internet, and on the radio at Cool 95.7.
All right, well, welcome back to Cool 95.7 as the Hobbs Eagles are trailing by 18 to the Coyotes. It is a score of 71-53 with 5:25 remaining. Here is the call with Ty Friend.
Expect to see some full court pressure or trap type of defense for the Hobbs Eagles with an 18-point deficit, as you mentioned, 5:25 remaining. As I say that, the Eagles go back to the half-court D and leaving a backcourt for Roswell to take care of business here. Hobbs is going to put 2 at the time stripe, Turbiatis and Soria. And now they're going to backpedal just a bit as Cloud will bring it across the timeline for Roswell. 5:20 remaining. He takes a little spin and then stops. Bounce pass to the right wing. Give it off to Saraceno. Back to Cloud. He tries to go to the baseline with it right. Henderson and Soria meet him, and either one of those guys don't need the fouls here. They call that against the Eagles. Make that Soria his 5th personal. He's just fouled out with 7 points. So that's the freshman's final seconds of this district tournament. But a pretty respectful showing there for Soria. Got that trade early on, a couple more buckets after that. Been in some foul trouble here in the second half. The inbound to the right corner, Anaya. Drives to the right block, kick it up top. 3 on the way for Palomino, swish. Palomino now with 11 points, his first tray of the game, and that's the 8th tray for Roswell. They lead by 21, their biggest lead. Into the front court comes Vega on the right wing. Drives a lane, and we got a whistle on the baseline. Looks like Henderson might have shoved off against Anaya as he picks up the foul. Henderson screaming that he wasn't happy with the call. That's his 4th, second team foul, make it 3rd team foul against the Eagles. And now a sub coming in as Javen Hernandez going to check in for Henderson at the post position.
Hernandez was going to check in near the end of the second quarter, but was not able to, just didn't get the time. So now he's playing now.
Well, third quarter, you mean. Bartlett batted far sideline to Carrasco. Stop and go, crossover move, hippity hop to middle of the lane, hands it off back door and laying it up high off the left glass is Palomino. There's an early whistle on that. I don't know if they're going to count the basket or not. Foul regardless, and I guess they are going to call it good. So Palomino now with 13 points. And he'll get a chance for a 3-point play as they get the foul call against Braddock Beatty, his 4th personal, 14th foul. As that'll put on the line once again, Jacob Palomino.
Yeah, this Roswell team was definitely not the one that we saw on the Hobbs court Monday night against Clovis.
Missed the free throw out the front of the rim, pulled down by Beatty on the left block, his 3rd. Sends it ahead to Pena on the right wing, drives the lane, puts on the brakes, fade away from the left block, and air ball, put back up by, make that Turbiatis on the right block, 2 hands high in the air. He's got 13 points and 8 rebounds now. 76-55, 21-point game. Been as high as 23 in this one. Slowing the clock a little, or moving the clock a little bit. Palomino on the left wing, dribbles around the circle, gives it off to Anaya. 3 on the way and good on the right wing. Anaya has 2 trays in the game coming off the bench. That is the 9th tray for Roswell, 6 for Anaya. Shot from the free throw line at the other end by Vega, misses, goes back up with a one-hand rebound, can't get it. Another time for Vega on the left block, no good, and pulled down by Anaya. His first board. Gives it off to Cloud. He'll take the dribble now against Pena across the time stripe with 4 minutes remaining. Eagles down by 24. Comes to the right wing. Goes through 2 defenders. Gets tied up by Pena and Hernandez on the right elbow. They call the jump. And the possession arrow will be, looks like it'll be Roswell basketball. So Roswell get underneath their hoop on the right baseline. 3:53 left here in the 4th, 79-55. Eagles down by 24. The inbound to the right wing to Saraceno. Takes a lefty dribble and backs it out. Continues down the left side of the lane. Windmill layup on the left side with 2 hands. It gets it a clink around the rim for 2. Saraceno has had 9 points here in the 4th, 22 overall. 81-55, a 26-point deficit for the Eagles. Going to the other end is Beatty. Bounce it back door to Turbiatis high with the layup on the left glass. Turbiatis now with 15. 4 here in the 4th, 81-57. Cloud in the front court, back it into Pena on the near right side. Spins, Pena getting a piece of the basketball. Cloud will beat him all the way to the rack. Tries a scoop shot, going backwards off the side rim, no good. Beatty with the rebound for the Eagles. That's his 4th. Comes down the lane, gives it off to Pena, fumbles it at the left block. It gets knocked out, looks like off the hands of Carrasco. Hobbs should retain possession underneath their hoop on the left block. Criswell's gonna check in for Vega. Clay's also on the court. Beatty will stay on there. Hernandez and Turbiatis as well. Now it's going to be Wheeler checking in as Turbiatis will take a seat as Jay Iris has 15 points and 8 rebounds, getting real close to a double-double. 3:11 left, though, in this game, Ron.
Yeah, there's been a lot of substitutions going on with the lateness of it all, but still, with 3 minutes to go, Hobbs looking bad.
Cloud will get it in to Wheeler. A quick shot with his left hand and swishes it through from the left block. Wheeler now has 7 points. 6 of those here in the 4th, 81-59. 22-point lead for Roswell. On the left wing is Cloud, spinning against Clay. Gets a screen, bounces it to the screener. He tries to go up, gets rejected from behind by Wheeler. The shot was up by Saraceno. Give it off to Criswell at the time stripe. Sends it across to Hernandez on the left wing. Fakes a pass, and one-hand bounce to Criswell, left corner. Bounce it down low to Wheeler on the left block. Spins against two defenders. Ball knocked out of his hands on the baseline. And it'll go back to the Eagles. Clock will stop with 2:37 left in the fourth. Roswell at number 20 in the Max Preps poll. The Eagles at 16. This is not a good loss for Hobbs. They're going to be on the bubble for the state tournament. Inbound to Beatty on the left wing. Fakes a three. Down the lane to the left elbow. Over to Hernandez, right side of the paint. He throws up a shot off the back of the rim. Criswell gets a rebound on the right baseline. Back deep to Beatty. Beatty sends it back over to Wheeler on the left side. Pivoting, looking for help. Uses up the dribble. Back deep to Cloud with 2:20. Crossover move. He's going to keep it out near the timeline. A double team. One-hand pass up top to Wheeler. Over to Beatty on the right wing. Spots up a tray. In and out, no good. Chased down by Cloud at the free throw line. The rebound for him. He's in transition off the dribble. Backs it out top of the arc in the front court. Stop and go at the free throw line. Tied up by Hernandez on the jump ball. That should be a Hobbs Eagle arrow, and it will be a turnover for Roswell as well. That's their 16th turnover of the game. We haven't seen many turnovers here as the game has progressed for the red and white.
We haven't, which is both good and bad, but definitely needed more turnovers against Carlsbad, the Roswell Coyotes. Did not happen. Hobbs just unable to get any stops or enough stops to be able to get into this game again.
A lot of foul trouble for a lot of their players as well. The inbound to Clay in the backcourt with 2 minutes left. Eagles down by 22. Clay will come across the timeline, top of the circle, crossover to his left hand, left elbow. Flicks it out to Criswell, left wing. He goes to his lefty dribble, high shot off the glass with two hands. And it looks like the big kid throws a block on him. Anaya flattened on the ground, but he wasn't in set position.
Right.
That'll be Anaya's second. And the second team foul. Ball came off the rim, but Criswell will be back to the stripe. He can add on to his 2-for-2 free throw shooting performance earlier in this quarter.
And it may not be enough, but still would be nice to see it. Criswell is very quick. That's one of the reasons why he's out here from the JV squad.
First free throw is a high one and hard off the back of the rim. No good as it flicks off. Make it 2 of 3 from the line. 1:52 left here in the fourth. Eagles will finish the district tournament with a record of 12-16, 4 beneath 500. As the second shot for Criswell off the back of the iron, knocked around, it looks like touched by Anaya, was one of the players. Roswell got it, but Hernandez touched it too for the Eagles, and it goes out after that. So Roswell looks like they're ready for a game against Clovis on Saturday for the district championship. Eagles have to wait till the weekend to see if they make the tournament, the 16-team field. Driving across the timeline, Palomino gives it over to the left elbow, but it's stolen by Criswell. Roswell, 17 turnover. Down lane to Hernandez, shot puts it over the back of the rim, no good. Chased down by Roswell in transition, Saraceno. Over to the right wing to Anaya. He spots a three. This one off the side of the rim right. Rebound underneath by Hernandez for the Eagles. That's Jabin's third board and gives it over to Clay on the far right side, now in the front court. Crossover move through his legs. To the right side of the paint, throws up a 10-footer off the bottom of the backboard and pulled down on the left baseline for Roswell by Saraceno. Cross court right to Palomino with 1:10 remaining. Back deep to Saraceno. He tries to drive around Wheeler and gets hammered from behind. Wheeler foul in the backcourt. Wheeler picks up his third personal, 15 foul, so adding insult to injury. Roswell now in the double bonus.
Right.
As Coach Ross going to go to the bench now to bring in Jordan Caceres for his first action in this game as he comes in after the foul call there. Nobody foul now, but he wanted to get his sub in the ball game. 1:09 left in the fourth, 81-59, a 22-point lead for Roswell. I'm not sure if the scoring margin will have any worse effect for Hobbs in terms of getting that hopefully a 16th, 15th seed. I've been told by a lot of people that the district tournament doesn't have as much weight as some other things. We'll talk about that in the post-game show, see what the Eagles' chances are. First free throw is up off the back of the rim for Saraceno. That was his first miss of the ball game. Now 4 of 5 from the charity stripe. He's got 22 points.
I can tell you about the action that was going on in Portales at the end of the third. Lovington still holding a lead by 7, 39-32 over Portales.
Of course, that's girls basketball in their district tournament. Second free throw good for Saraceno. He's going to be exited out of the game on the sub. 23 points for Saraceno to lead Roswell. 82-59. Hobbs down by 23. Criswell dribbling behind his back in the front court. Hands off to Caceres up top. Bounce it to the right corner to Wheeler. Double team against him. Return to Caceres on the right wing. Thought about a three. Gets through two defenders on a hippity hop. Tries to cross court it, but it drops short in the paint for some reason. Roswell gets a piece of it, and a steal looks like converted by Omar Ramos, and a foul from behind for the Eagles. So Hobbs picks up the turnover. That's their 20th of the ball game. And Roswell gets to go to the other end for the double bonus. They call the foul on Caceres. That's his first 6th-team foul. And 2 shots coming for Ramos to try to get himself in the book. He's yet to score. He's been a late sub in this 4th quarter.
The one similarity that I've seen in both these teams is the fact that their core players are not seniors. They're going to be coming back next year, so that means that both sides should be improving or getting better. Roswell is going to be scary that way and could be definitely a problem for Carlsbad, for Clovis, and for us.
Ramos makes his first free throw. Second shot is up and in and out, no good. Pulled down by Wheeler on the right block. That's his 4th rebound. Outlet to the timeline. To Jaime Cano, the lone senior for the Eagles, over to Criswell, left wing. Back to Cano near the time stripe. One hands over to Caceres, far right sideline. Takes a few dribbles. Cross court left to Criswell, left baseline. He'll fire up a 18-footer. As he lets go, he gets knocked to the floor. Ball comes off the rim, but a foul going to be called on Roswell to give him a chance for a couple of free throws here.
3 to be exact, but yeah.
Yeah, he was back just far enough to get that call there. That's going to be against Josh Estrada, his first 3rd-team foul. Nope, it is. Is the ref saying 3 or 2? One finger got stuck there. I couldn't see if it was coming out or not, but here we go with the free throws regardless. First one for Criswell off the back of the rim. Criswell's missed his last 3 free throws after making his first 2 here in the 4th quarter. He is 2 for 5 on the line. Yep, it is a 3-shot foul situation. 83 to 59. Eagles down by 24. That's been their biggest deficit here in the second half. Second shot for Criswell, good. He's made 3 out of 6 now for 50%. 4th and final shot now. 21 points score for Roswell in this quarter. Eagles was 11. Second shot, or 3rd shot, good for Criswell. He's got 4 total now. 83-61, 28 seconds remaining. Quickly a dribble to the front court, pass to the right corner, 3 on the way, and the substitute hits the shot there, getting the fans and the bench all excited. Gilbert Benitez with his first tray of the game. That's 10 3-pointers for Roswell, leading by 25. At the other end, Wheeler on the right wing. Cross court left to Criswell against a double team. Bounce pass, same side, Hernandez. Dribbles to the free throw line. To Wheeler, right corner. Rainbow 3 on the way. Over the rim, left, no good. Pulled down on the right block by Benitez, his first rebound. Bad pass to Hernandez. He shoots a 3 at the buzzer from the left side. They're going to count it, as Hernandez will get himself in the scoring book after a Roswell turnover. But the final score, 86-64. The Hobbs Eagles losing to Roswell by 22. So Roswell gets the better of the series, 3 games, or make it 2 games to 1, and they will move on to the district tournament championship on Saturday at 6 in Clovis. Now, if Roswell can win the district tournament championship, they will be in the tournament automatically, which kind of hurts the Eagles, Ron, because that means anybody else that was hovering around their numbers, just like Hobbs has been in terms of the Max Preps poll, that's going to drop some teams out or drop them down another notch or so. So that's not a very good situation. So Hobbs, I think, has got to hope that Clovis is going to pick off Roswell on Saturday to keep Roswell's numbers somewhat bearable and possibly a chance for the Eagles to slip in at a 16, 15 seed. It's going to be tough. We'll talk about that in just a minute.
Exactly.
Final score, once again, 86-64. Roswell gets the win and improves to 16-11. Your Hobbs Eagles drop to 12-16. We'll take a 30-minute break and come back with the Hobbs Eagle postgame show live on the Hobbs Eagle Network. Welcome back to Roswell. Your Hobbs Eagles losing one tonight in the semifinals of the district tournament. Final score 86-64. Eagles losing by 22. They were outscored in the fourth quarter 24-15 for the Roswell win. And a big difference in this game tonight, besides turnovers, Hobbs had 20 of those, was the three-point shots. Roswell hitting 10 of those. A couple of subs coming off the bench, getting some key ones as well to extend leads. But, yeah, that extra point that you get for every shot is going to add up after a while.
Exactly, and it looked like a fourth quarter looked like it was a clinic for shooting threes for Roswell, and it just simply looked like they could not make a miss. In fact, I only think they missed one or two different three-pointers, but still, Roswell on a roll and just kept getting stronger and stronger as the quarter went on. Didn't expect that. Thought we'd see more of the what they looked like in Clovis, but that unfortunately didn't happen for the Hobbs Eagles.
60 free throw attempts in this ball game combined with the two teams. 35 attempts for Roswell and 25 for the Eagles. Roswell hit 22 of 35 for 62%. Eagles at 14 of 25 for 56%. So a little bit of a difference there. 10 more free throws for Roswell. Not the difference in the game necessarily,
no,
but just kind of giving you a look at what we had going on. A lot of fouls here, double bonuses going on quite a bit throughout much of the quarters. Let's look at Roswell's numbers first. They end up getting 4 guys in double figures. Rylan Saraceno finishing with 23 points. He also hit a tray in the fourth quarter and had some free throw opportunities as well. In fact, he was just 5 of 6, so only missing 1, and that was his next to last one of the fourth quarter to finish up with that 23 with 3 rebounds as well. Stephen McCaskill got 18 points in the game. He also hit a couple of trays for the Roswell Cause and 2 of 3 from the charity stripe. McCaskill had 4 rebounds. 13 for Jacob Palomino. He ended up being 6 of 11 from the line. Also had 1 tray. That was coming in the fourth quarter as well, and 6 rebounds. He was the leading rebounder for Roswell. The fourth player in double figures, Jalen Cloud, finishing with 10 points. He had a total of 4 of 6 from the charity stripe, and he was 3 rebounds to his name as well. So 4 in double figures for Roswell. Manny Fuentes getting close with 8 points, 3 of 5 from the line, and 3 rebounds. He had a tray in the game. Notice that trend. A lot of guys getting at least 1 tray or more for Roswell's Cause. Frankie Anaya coming off the bench for a couple of trays. He had 6 points. Gilbert Benitez late in the fourth quarter, a sub. He had a tray for 3. Omar Ramos went 1 of 2 from the line for 1 point, and Zai Carrasco, kind of a quiet night for him offensively, but he hit a tray for 3 points, and Josh Estrada went 1 of 2 from the line for 1 point. So Roswell ends up with, it looks like 10 players getting in the books in this one, and 4 in double figures. They were 22 of 35 for 62% on the line, hit those 10 threes, and also had 2 turnovers less than the Eagles, 18 versus 20. Top rebounder Jacob Palomino was 6, and 4 for McCaskill, 3 apiece for Estrada, Saraceno, and Fuentes. They did end up getting 4 less rebounds than the Eagles, 29-33. And for your Hobbs Eagles, they get 3 in double figures. Jairus Turbiatis getting close to a double-double. He had 15 points and 8 rebounds. He finished up on the line as well. He was 3 of 6 for 50% from the charity stripe. And again, aggressive play for Turbiatis as usual, getting up his body on both ends of the court. Parker Henderson with 14 points and 4 rebounds. He was perfect on the charity stripe at 4 for 4. Braylon Vega finished with 13 points, 1 of 2 on the line, hit 2 trays in the contest, and had 4 rebounds. So those 3 guys in double digits. Also scoring for the Eagles, the freshman Lyric Soria before fouling out late in the fourth. He had 7 points, including 1 tray. It was 7 for Amron Wheeler, another freshman on the court tonight. He had 3 buckets in the fourth quarter, went 1 of 2 from the line, and had 4 rebounds. Abraham Pena, very quiet offensive night for him. He was 1 of 4 from the charity stripe, finished up with 3 points, only 1 bucket in the game, and 3 rebounds. Javen Hernandez coming off the bench for a tray. He had 3 rebounds as well, as the Hobbs Eagles ended up with 8 scores in the books. In terms of free throws, they were 14 of 25 for 56%. We mentioned they out-rebounded Roswell 33-29, and the leader in that was Turbiatis with 8, 4 apiece for Vega and Henderson. Hernandez and Pena ended up with 3. I mentioned Beatty, too, with 4 rebounds for the Eagles' cause. Again, Hobbs with 20 turnovers, just 18 for Roswell. Eagles had only 4 trays in this game, Ron. A couple for Braylon Vega, 1 apiece for Hernandez and Soria. That was 6 less than Roswell. And Hobbs came into this game with 1 more 3 than Roswell did in the first 2 games of this district season.
Yeah, and they were looking better than Roswell was. Roswell struggled against Clovis. We talked about that. They also struggled against some of the opponents in district as well as, of course, in the season. But they did have a winning record over Hobbs, and that seemed to be something of a factor. But today's game, 86 points, that is not only their highest for the district, but also highest for the season. So they came out strong, and they proved the fact that maybe they had a little chip on their shoulder, seeing as how Hobbs was ranked 16th and they were ranked 20th, and they thought that they needed to be ranked a little bit higher simply because they had beat Hobbs once, and they had some other victories that Hobbs could not say they did. But either way, they came out here with a purpose. They lost to Clovis the other day, and they said, you know what, we're going to come back. We're going to go ahead and face Clovis again and see what we can do the second or third time around.
Final score again, 86-64. Eagles are now 12-16 on the season. Roswell at 16-11. You take a look at the Max Preps poll as kind of a starting point for deciding the 16 teams that go to state. Hobbs came into tonight at 16. Roswell had dropped a few spots down to 20. That's a big difference in terms of strength of schedule because Roswell at just 9.1, Hobbs at 16.3. But when you come down to it, a team beats another team 2 out of 3 times. You got to think the committee is going to look a little bit closer to see if Roswell needs to move up some. Now, Roswell still has a chance for an automatic berth, too, if they can beat Clovis on Saturday, which I think is possible. But they just got to keep their heads on straight, not get 2 techs in the second half like they did last time, Monday at Task Arena. So Roswell has a lot of room to move up. I could see them making it. They did a mock pick a couple days ago with various people using the same values of different things in the terms of points and who you beat and all that stuff. And they came up with Hobbs at 16 and Roswell 15. And that would make some sense because that would move Hobbs to that last spot, and Roswell, after beating him 2 out of 3 times, move up a spot. But that would still get both teams in the district. But the question is, are they going to put 3 teams from the same district in the tournament? That does happen, frequently. But this district's been kind of down this year. Not a lot of point production going on, but of course Clovis sits at number 7, so they're in the driver's seat as far as district teams. They're just trying to get themselves a home game to start the playoffs next week. Question is, Ron, does Hobbs get in? 16.3 in terms of their strength of schedule into tonight's game. They have a better strength of schedule than 11 of the top 15 teams in the Max Preps poll. Max Preps is not the only thing they look at, but I think that says something. We know they have a win against Los Lunas, a district winner for the regular season. That's going to give them some bonus points. They beat Artesia, who's a number 6 team in 4A. They're a district champion for the regular season. That's some more bonus points. They played several teams in the top 3, Volcano Vista, Cleveland, Oregon Mountain, lost to them all by double digits. They beat Clovis once, which is a district regular season champ. That'll give them some bonus points. Lost to number 8 Farmington by 6. And that's pretty much it for their top 10 teams that they played. I think they're one team that's kind of vulnerable in the top 16 right now is Rio Rancho. They are under 500 right now at 13-15. Their district is not done yet with the tournament, but they have a 15.6 strength of schedule. That's holding them on in the top 16, but I think they're vulnerable too, under 500, just like the Eagles are. But losing tonight might make that a little bit touchy. Who could say that maybe Rio Rancho drops to 16 and Hobbs is out looking from the basement there. The problem is there's still some teams that can make the tournament that have upset wins in their district tournaments and get an automatic berth, and that could be anywhere all the way down to 25, 26 on the Max Preps poll.
And any way you look at it, you're looking at teams that are going to be tough to beat. The top 4 teams are tough to beat. You're talking about Atrisco Heritage Academy, who fought it out against not only Volcano Vista and lost, also with Cleveland and had a quick game that just got close to it. They were leading in the first 3. Cleveland came back and won that fourth quarter and won the game as well. So you're talking about Atrisco Heritage. They're tough. Oregon Mountain is tough. They've only lost 1 game this season. Cleveland has most of the time they lose against Volcano Vista. And Hobbs did play them well in Hobbs. It was just unfortunate that Hobbs could not keep up the momentum in the fourth quarter. That's the reason why they lost that game. And, of course, Volcano Vista, we haven't played them. Volcano Vista has only lost 1 game, and that was actually to Cleveland, and that was in Hobbs at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. But you don't always know what's going to happen until the game is played, but you definitely don't want to face those 4 teams, and Hobbs looks like it's going to be destined to do that.
There's arguments some people are making that Organ Mountain should move up in the number 3 slot, 24-1 record. Of course, Volcano Vista at 25-1 at number 1. Cleveland at 20-6. So there could be a debate there if Cleveland needs to move down a slot. But more than likely, if Hobbs gets in 15 or 16, they're going to probably be the 16 team with the loss tonight possibly, but that could probably end up playing Volcano Vista. I don't think they're going to move them out of the top spot at that 25-1 and 18 strength of schedule, which is actually second best in the whole slate of 16 teams right now. Cleveland actually has the best at 18.8 without a game being played yet for the district tournament after Tuesday night, but still, it's all up in the air. They look at your record overall. They look at your opponents. Do you have like opponents that you beat, and the guy that you're facing with that 16th slot that did not beat? You look at district champion wins, which Hobbs has got 3 of those to their name. Roswell has a couple of those too. You just got to pray that there's not some lucky team that wins a district tournament that wasn't expected to, that automatically gets that punch ticket and then moves everybody's, some of the bottom people's rankings down and then moves them up into that slot, and then you're out of luck.
Exactly, and in the end, all you have to do is this. You want to win the games. You win the games, you better your chances of going in. You start doing what Hobbs did and having a losing record, and you depend on others to help you get into that tournament. And again, once you do, even when you are in it, you're facing some really strong teams that have lost very few games, and it is tough to get. Once you get into the playoffs, it's hard to get deep into it.
So the district tournament championship is Saturday. Clovis will host Roswell for that one, and a big game for the Roswell Coyotes to make sure they're getting in the tournament field. I think they're going to get in regardless, I believe,
right.
But they like to have another solid part of their resume there.
Exactly.
We have to mention this. We don't know for sure. Hobbs might not get in, so we might not be on the broadcast for basketball the rest of the season. So we do want to mention one guy out there, Jaime Cano, of course. He is a senior, the lone senior on the Hobbs Eagles. Right. I'd really like to say congrats to him in the future with his graduation, etc. Again, just one senior on the squad, kind of a better situation than some years. We have 6 or 7 guys leaving,
right.
But you hate to see anybody have to leave the squad. A lot of youngsters coming up, as we've seen, getting a lot of playing time here in the last few ball games. But again, Jaime Cano, we salute him as our lone senior on this squad. And, of course, we got Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball Saturday night. They will host whoever can get through the rest of the group. Clovis and I believe Roswell, the 2 teams that are battling it out for that slot tonight to see who plays Hobbs. That'll be a 6 o'clock game. That'll be on the Eagle 100.5, our sister station, on Saturday. And hopefully the Lady Eagles, not hopefully, it's going to happen. They're going to move on to the state tournament and hopefully
definitely
be the number 1 seed is what we're looking for on that one.
Well, unless things actually, no, I don't think they will slip around because Farmington had a loss a couple of weeks ago. I think that helped Hobbs get into that number 1 spot. And either way, I think they're going to go in number 1, but they're going to be tough to beat whether they're number 1 or number 2, definitely without a doubt.
And I think maybe those 2 losses gave them some more motivations. Hey, it's not going to be a breeze. We're going to have to play our what's off and take care of business. Ron, let's talk about those sponsors and bringing the basketball and hopefully some more games this season to our radio and the internet.
And if anything else, we would like to thank once again for all the inspiration, for the hope, and for what he's brought to the table. Of course, that'd be Coach Reeves. This is maybe his last game, maybe not, hopefully not. But either way, we want to give one more salute to Coach Reeves. He did a great, excellent job as a coach for all these years.
And girls
and
basketball,
assistant
too.
As well. So all the times he was coaching, he was always respected. He was always admired. And we're going to continue doing that. We're going to miss him like crazy next year. So our sponsors, First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire, Hobbs Express, Elite Home Healthcare, Lee County State Bank, Lasco Construction, TDS, Thriftway, The Coffee House, Devon Energy, NMR Pipeline, The Model, Ampersand Media and Design, Hydrotech Services, and Divine Energy Services. Thank you guys so much for all your support. We appreciate it throughout the season.
Final score once again from Roswell, 86-64. The Coyotes moving on to the district tournament championship Saturday against Clovis. Like to thank Tiffany back at the station. For Ron Gunner, myself, Ty Friend, thanks for being with us tonight, and hopefully we'll be back on the air with you next week for a playoff game. If not, baseball's around the corner. Have a great rest of a Thursday night out there.